Two guys in a bus here, back at you. It's Friday the 13th. We've got a special guest, Eileen Torres.
Hello, hello.
No relation.
None.
None at all.
No, it's my lovely wife. Come to join us.
That's right. Lovely.
Better believe it. So, big news going on right now.
Yeah, huge news.
As this moment, it'll be late news when you hear it.
Yeah, you have way more information than what we currently have.
I've just heard a little bit of Paris being attacked. You said you knew more about it, Will?
Yeah, well, apparently there's somewhere around 6 incidences somewhere throughout Paris. The major one is a concert hall. The Eagles were playing, and 2 gunmen went in there and shot up the place, we're assuming, took hostages. By the time whatever forces went in there, we're calling SWAT team, I don't know what they have out there in Paris, but went in there and took the 2 gunmen out. Later reports come out that said that somewhere around 100 people were dead.
We're dead?
Dead, killed in there.
We're not just injured?
No, there's a lot of wounded going out throughout the whole city, but inside there they are saying around 100 fatalities inside the concert. There was also a bombing by a soccer stadium that the actual president of France was at.
Wow.
Yeah. He made it out of there no problem, but there was 2 bombings out there. I believe those were suicide bombers. And then someone else got killed there, I believe. A restaurant was shot up or blown up, and a bar. I think there was a couple of other places, other incidences, but they're talking last time I saw it was 40 dead, 60 wounded total, but since that was before the concert hall. So you're talking closer to 200 people.
With the concert,
dead.
Yeah, with the concert hall, they said they were gonna hold all those 100 people and then just randomly kill them, start killing them.
Yeah, that's what they actually started doing. They were
progressing.
Yeah, they were shooting one at a time. And how far they got to doing that before? Because they could have killed all of them. We don't know yet.
Right.
All the hostages.
Now, was the band playing at that time, or was this before the show and people were getting seated still?
Well, I would imagine this is during the show because when this went down, it was. You know what? It might have been prior.
It had been prior.
Yeah, this happened. I think I started getting alerts on my phone somewhere around 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's their time. I think that's shit. I think they're 9 hours behind us. So it would have been, or ahead of us. They're ahead of us.
Yeah. The news that I heard the Eagles were playing on, they didn't say anything about the band. It just said the arena that the Eagles, American rock band, the Eagles were playing at this. I don't know what the hall was called.
Yeah, I forgot. Somewhat to see. I forget what it was called, but it was a big enough stadium where they had. I don't call it a stadium because it wasn't like Soldier Field or anything like that, but it was a hall, is what they were kept calling it.
Like opera.
There you go. Yeah. So, big tragedy over there. You know, they got the military. They shut down all the borders, so you can't come in and out. Planes are still going. Trains are still going. I think the president's actually visiting now some of the locations, so it must be getting a little more secure. They must be feeling a little safer.
They got him out of that soccer game.
Out of there quick. Obviously. So they're fucked up. I mean, and they're such a bad location. Obviously, from where ISIS and all these terrorist threats are, they're just across whatever the Mediterranean Sea or whatever right there is. It's a sea, right? Mediterranean Sea?
Yeah.
That separates them?
I believe so.
What, Syria?
Yeah.
And France?
Because am I right?
I don't know.
I know a body of water splits them, but I could be way off. I know I'm bad at geography for over there, but they're not. They're easily not infiltrated is not the right word, but easily to smuggle stuff into the country. They don't really have a
Susceptible
problem.
to attacks.
Sure.
Now, none of the news broadcasts that I saw, I don't know about you, but none of the ones I saw, I heard anything about anyone hearing that the terrorists said anything. But my brother called me, and he said he's been watching the news since whenever, and he said that they had one person on camera saying that they heard one of the terrorists say, "This is for Syria."
Syria.
But I didn't hear that on any of the news.
Right, yeah, and it doesn't really make sense to yell that out. I don't understand. The whole
Does it make a
thing
lot
with
of
these
sense to do
attacks,
this shit in the first place?
you just don't know what to believe when it comes down to it. There's so much speculation and just propaganda too, to where things become diluted and kind of foggy in a sense, to where you don't understand. Because Al-Qaeda itself was a group of people trained by our CIA
Yep.
to fight against Saddam Hussein.
Right.
Other than they turned around and became
A terrorist group.
right. ISIS comes out of nowhere. How did they form?
Right.
Who are these people? How did they get these weapons? Who
What's their
trained
training?
them?
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's
Well,
really...
did they come out of Libya?
uh,
Wasn't that the country that we supplied the rebels to take over? Was it Gaddafi that they overthrew and they killed him? Remember they like fucking ran knives up his ass and like
right,
killed him
I
in the
remember,
streets and
yeah.
shit? We never got those weapons back. You know we didn't get those weapons back. You know what I mean? That could be how some of these things start up. You supply these rebels with guns to take over the country, but they're not capable of running the country after it's been the dictator has been overthrown.
I just personally don't, and it just may be me thinking in the old ways of how we always have thought,
Yeah.
but I just really don't, this seems sophisticated.
Of an attack?
Do you really think that they are that sophisticated to where they can actually plan something so strategically based like this
I definitely think
and,
so.
and plan something out in this manner?
I think so. I think they get very educated people inside their group. I mean, a lot of them are very financially well off. It's not unconceivable that they don't send people to school to come back and to be leaders in their movement. You know, they gotta have some kind of brains, whether they're super educated people like our scientists or geniuses or whatever, but they're smart enough to, I think, to plan these attacks. There's no doubt about it. And then they have their fucking grunts that go out there and do the suicide bombings and blow themselves up. You know what I mean? That just believes full-heartedly that they're gonna have 40 virgins when they fucking die, or whatever they believe. You know what I mean?
Eileen, you want to say something?
I can't think that someone would be that intelligent, like you said that they're probably pretty intelligent, some of them. But to think that you can do something like that, there's something inside your brain too that's gotta be a little bit off, you know?
Yeah.
You could be intelligent, but you can also have some kind of, they're gonna play God, they're gonna think that they're gonna set the government straight
Right,
and kill
some
all
kind
these
of
people and make
narcissistic-
us stand. That's gonna change or get back at the country that you're upset with. You can't be a good smart. That freaks
Well,
me
these
out.
people are radicals, you know what I mean? They believe in their religion and that everyone else is below them and sinners. What do they call them? Fucking infidels, right? That they are. This is all a religious act that they are.
But what
Causing. I know.
does a restaurant have to do with that? What does a concert hall have to do with
What
that?
does the
That's why
Twin Towers have to do with it?
Well,
you know
that
what I mean?
does have something to do with it. That's where we had a lot of money and our interest in the Pentagon as well.
Yeah,
but I mean,
okay.
to attack a restaurant,
Right.
you know, it just seems really weird. It just seems really,
Random.
yeah, like
I don't know if you can get to those big, eye-catching structures anymore. You know what I mean? With security as heightened as it is, it's easier to maybe, and I don't know, but maybe it's easier to do 6 smaller places.
Yeah.
And the hall was not a small place. You killed a lot of people there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you do 6 smaller places throughout the entire city and send the whole city. The whole city's still fucked up.
Yeah.
They're still sent through turmoil. Everyone's running around not knowing what's going on.
I'd like to know what's going on in Paris, though, because I don't follow the politics in
Right.
Paris. There may be
Yeah.
laws
Because
that are
they
trying to be
are-
passed, too. Because it seems weird that in this country, a lot of times when laws are trying to be passed, like, shit like that happens.
Yeah.
And it's very, like, and I wonder what's going on in Paris, to be
Yeah, what
honest, about,
escalated,
what's,
something escalated.
yeah, or something escalated, or if something they're trying to, like, get through in their law or whatever. Because it just seems crazy that they would hit so many spots right away, bada bing, bada boom. And,
Yeah. It seems crazy to us.
well, this is why. Every time that something happens like this, it's happened and it brings fear and stress. And you cannot
Right.
operate while that's going on.
Right.
So now you have every citizen there in this high anxiety state, you know? And they're going to be more fearful. They're going to be like us, where we brought upon the Patriot Act, right? Which was, we can look at it now in hindsight and be like, fuck, what did we do, right? But same thing, you know? I mean, you get people in that heightened fear like that, and then boom, you go, hey, we're doing the Paris Act, or whatever it is.
Right.
This will protect you, you know, give us whatever and this, and we can, you know, observe and get your calls and whatever. And now your rights are taken away because of that heightened fear, and you can't operate, you can't think logically when that kind of shit's going on at all.
But the last time they had an attack was, well, the last attack was the train.
The subway or
But
whatever.
the previous to that was the magazine company that got, that people, I don't know how many guns, I think it was 6 people went in there and shot a bunch of people because they were publishing a dictation of Muhammad. So, I mean, so yeah, I see what you're saying about them, what laws and the policies that France has, but you go back to something like that magazine company, and that was for religious reasons on that. It had nothing to do with France's policies.
Right.
Again, I don't know what they got going over there because it seems like France is a target for these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm just throwing it out there for
Sure,
the sake of
absolutely.
throwing it out
Absolutely.
Did
there
they
for the
say-
podcast, but I mean, it's just something to like think about because it's
Yeah.
just crazy how it would be a restaurant.
Right.
Was it a certain
concert hall.
restaurant?
I don't think it was anything specific. I think it was just some restaurant.
Was
but I mean, how much
I
do we
know.
know right now?
Was it
you
a
know?
Starbucks due to the red cup?
Dude,
Chick-fil-A.
I am not talking about the red cup. I'm not talking about that red cup.
No, we kid, but no, this is serious. That's crazy, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, and
By the time this comes out Sunday, we'll all know a
Yeah.
shit ton
Somewhere,
more
yeah.
information.
I don't think we'll know as much as they actually do know, but at least we'll have some clear data.
Yeah.
That's
Of who did it.
Of
If someone steps up and says that we actually
right.
did it and this is why.
Yeah. The fucked up thing about when things happen like this, and even when serial killers are out there running amok, people randomly come out and want to take the credit for it.
Yeah.
And that is so weird
yeah.
to me. Like, I mean, so many people, like, I'm the son of Sam, I'm the Zodiac Killer. And why?
Why?
Why would you ever want to be locked up in prison and pretend you're somebody? Like,
It's
something wrong.
Notoriety though, right?
yeah, I mean, there is that 15 minutes of fame, but it's just...
Your life sucks. You hate yourself. So fucking, you claim to have done whatever horrible deeds to try and get famous.
Yeah.
I mean, even people probably do it for a good shit too, right? I mean, people try to take credit for other people's accomplishments.
Yeah, I'm sure we don't
I-
hear about it as much. 'Cause
Right.
we sensationalize the violence and the mayhem.
Yes.
But, which, that's is why this is blowing up, of course, because it's
Oh yeah.
absolutely devastating.
I wonder what, and I can't wait to see what their next step is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as, okay, if this was America and you bombed Chicago in 6 different places and
They wouldn't hit the South
blew up
Side.
fucking the Blue House of
Soldier
Blues, House of
Stadium,
Blues or
House of
something, right?
Blues,
Chick-fil-A.
and-
Dude.
Yeah.
America's running over there with bombs. Chick-fil-A. We're running over there with bombs.
Infidels! Hire gay people, you fuckers.
We'll see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Paris handles things, France handles things a lot different than what the United States handles stuff.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think France puts $4.8 billion into their military.
No, they don't. No, they fucking don't. And we were watching the news and they had a street blocked off and there was a military personnel sitting there letting cars through or whatever else.
Oh, yeah.
And a guy rides up on his bike, talks to the guy, and he's just sitting there. Another one comes up and talks to him. They're both sitting there, just chilling, whatever. And I tell Eileen, I go, if that was America, if that was in the United States, that guy would be like, get the fuck out of here. We don't know who to trust right now. You got to fucking go. They got a little calmer approach, it seems like, over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the bike delivery.
We instantly go.
A bomb or something.
You know, we instantly go super hostile.
We jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
Right? And the way we treat citizens of all races, all gender, is just absolutely despicable.
It
I
is.
think in this country. And TNS or whatever, they don't fucking protect shit. They don't.
TSA?
Yeah, TSA. Yeah.
That.
The
People
airport.
at the airport, you
Oh.
know, like just a
Yeah.
bunch of tax dollars, fucking.
It's not so much wasted, but they got this superiority thing going
They
on.
never actually statistically have ever stopped anything.
I would
Out of all the time that they've done this and harassed people, nothing.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't see what they're doing so much better that metal detectors and body scanners can't fucking prevent.
Right.
A woman did a speech in my class about the prison system.
Yep.
Because we're doing persuasion speeches right now, and she was persuading us to rethink how we operate in our prison systems and how we treat our prisoners.
Nice.
And it was a well done speech, but I brought up a point saying that because you get a Q&A after, you know.
Okay.
And the same thing with the TSA and prisons. To me, they're like a security blanket for this country because we have our most percentage of our population is locked up in prison.
Yeah.
That's not fake. That's not made up. You can look it up right now. It's true. That's more than North Korea. We have more prisoners than North Korea. More of our population is in prison, and it's a security blanket. It's letting us think that the bad guys are locked up. They're away from society, which is totally untrue because it's a lot of nonviolent offenders.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of one-time offenders, and the serial killers are hardly ever caught. They're still out there.
Right.
So it just blows my mind. Now I agree that we should probably keep violent offenders in there, most definitely. But I think we do lack rehabilitation when it comes to prisoners.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And in the sense of prisons here, it's just, gosh, man, her speech was well done. I think I would have done it better and brought up more facts because it was kind of loosely. And when people asked her questions, she kind of didn't have an answer. And I think if you're trying to persuade somebody to something, like you better be like sharp as an axe. You know what I mean? Like you better know your shit.
Did she know about the overcrowding?
Yeah, that was one of her main points, is the overcrowding and how they actually want to build bigger prisons. And I was like, that's not fixing anything.
No.
You're gonna close down more prisons. And then we talked about the prisons for profit and the kids that get locked up. You gotta have 80% of the beds full. If they're not 80% full, then you're not. You know, these private-owned prisons are just
Money-making machines.
Yeah. But money making for who? It's not our economy that sees that money, and that's the whole thing. We have so many businesses within our country, like our government's military, which, yeah, you're making tanks and war machines. We're not seeing that money here in this economy. That's the big private tier companies that are running that shit, you know? The Cahoots, the General Electrics, those people like those, we don't see that here. And then you're gonna take every other company and put it overseas, like Nike and whatever else. And so we don't have any jobs here. Other than people want to get upset that people at fast food want a higher wage. Well, guess what? There's no fucking jobs here. And that's one of the few jobs you can have.
Yeah. And they're Dude, they're not even asking for much. You're talking $15 an hour,
Did
40
you-
hours a
yeah.
week. That comes out to $31,000 a year.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If you're working 40 hours a week on any job,
And that's
you
what,
should be-
tax-free?
That's tax free.
Right.
That's without your taxes being taken out. Right. If you're making $31,000 a year, you're bringing home 20, 25-ish,
Yeah.
depending on what.
Yeah, it's, yeah,
With-
25.
Okay, so you bring 25 home.
That's already double what I make.
Yeah.
Double and some more.
Anyone working 40 hours a week deserves to make $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Regardless of what job you're doing, because I tell you right now, McDonald's isn't like an easy job. It's not cake. You're not sitting on your ass.
Right, you're gonna be
Right.
moving.
And,
Yeah.
and people have been underpaid for a long time. Like a person brought up a debate point, and I understand where he's coming from. He said, like, you go to all these apprenticeships and all this, and you come out as an electrician, and you're making $13.50 an hour. Now you're gonna give somebody at fast food making $15 an hour, and I just did all this to make $13.50, and I was like, well, first of all, you got fucked.
Right.
But you're.
He doesn't know.
You don't understand that you should be making $23.50 an hour. You know, you did that extra. You shouldn't be at the minimum wage.
No.
You should be way above that. You should be at $23 an hour.
Well, first off, he doesn't know what he's talking about because I started off as an operating apprentice in 2002, and back then it was 15 something an hour, right? That was back then. Now, starting off, you start off at 24, 25, so it's not 15 now. It might have been 15 back, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
$13.50.
Okay, that's not reality today. You know what I mean? Not a electrician in this area today. But
I hope not.
it's not. It's
Yeah.
not. It's they make more money than that.
'Cause I saw-
So he's a little off on his numbers
Yeah.
for sure.
Because I saw, not to interrupt you, but because they said that actually in the 60s, compared to what people made then when you were making like $2 whatever, it actually equaled to, and you were able to have a house, a car, but it equaled to $17.50 an hour. So actually the $15 an hour is still under
yeah.
what we should actually, it's $2 and a half.
How long were we at a minimum wage of like $5.30
Oh my
something?
That's why there's
God.
so much
Forever, dude. That's why you're right. That's why people don't even want to
And-
fucking get jobs.
And the loans and the refinancing thing that the banks made up so that people refinanced their houses and then lost them to foreclosures because they up the fucking.
People aren't asking to make $60,000 working at McDonald's. They're
Right.
asking to be able to pay for their apartment
Right.
and buy clothes
For
and
their
pay
kids,
for
yeah. I mean, some
Yeah.
single moms can't fucking get a different
and
job.
maybe
you know?
try to save up to buy a couple $1,000 vehicle. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like they're not asking for the world. They're asking for a fair, livable wage, and I think that's fair.
But it's so hard to drill that into people's minds. Not even drill it, just persuade them to see rationally.
Just to think about
and empathize with
Yes.
people like outside of their own circumstances. I think that's really hard for a lot of people in this country. I wish it wasn't.
Right.
And I think that's why you get the I'm mad at immigrants or I'm mad
Yeah.
at people in the ghetto or I'm mad at it's because we're so disconnected and we've lost empathy and how to just rationalize how somebody else may be living
Yeah,
outside
or
of
you-
ourselves.
Or you just think you're better. You,
Right,
you need to
yes.
be better than that.
Right,
It's
you're
a
not applying
stereotype.
yourself,
Yeah,
right.
when really, to not work as a single mom or a single dad, to not work and to be on food stamps or on WIC where you're getting everything free for your children is almost easier than going out and getting that minimum wage job and then having to find childcare.
Mhm.
Now you might just be over the limit where you can't get free childcare.
Gosh, Eileen, you make a perfect point because that's exactly how, like, at my job, I make right over 10,000. So I should actually tell my boss to lay me off before I hit that because I would be better off.
Yes.
With paying taxes.
Yes.
Because once I go over that 10 grand, I'm fucked.
Different
Yeah.
tax bracket.
I'm fucked. Yeah, and now I won't get all my taxes back. I go into a different area to where I'm not that $10,000, but I should honestly just manipulate the system because that's what you have to learn to do, and that's what's so sad.
To survive.
And then people get upset, like these people are doing this and doing that. Well, there's no jobs, first of all. You know, go to Gary and tell me where you apply at. Tell me. So I'm gonna have dog fights. I'm gonna sell drugs. And if somebody else is going to try and step into my turf and sell drugs, I'm going to put a bullet in them because they're taking money out of my pocket. And that's how all this fucking shit happens, you know?
Right.
But people don't want to try and understand that. They just want to see them as degenerates or whatever.
The argument I keep hearing is that's not a job that you're supposed to live off of.
Right.
That's
It's
a
not
job
really a
that
job.
you start at and you move up. Well, guess what? People do make a living off of that, and half the time have to get 2 jobs because okay, let's say you're a felon. How are you gonna fucking get a job anywhere?
Right.
Well,
you shouldn't have broke the law, Will.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Because people don't make mistakes.
Uh-huh.
I'm perfect,
Right.
right?
Yep.
but
Yep.
then, like you said, those serial killers that don't get caught, they're
Right.
the CEOs.
Or hell,
They're truck drivers.
That is American Psycho that no one expects
what
to be
about
done.
murderers that go in and then only get like 5-10 years, but then you have guys that get busted for pot and end up serving like 20-some years.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And
Are
then you work
kidding
at
me?
White Castle the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And be judged and dehumanized for it.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that we do is dehumanize drug users, dehumanize people in fast food, dehumanize lower class. It's the separation thing of the war on gender, the war on class, the war on race. It just goes on to where it's like, when will we just realize that if we unify as a population, we can actually change this country? Because there's nothing they can do when all of us are on the same page. You know what I mean? Like, they can't manipulate us any longer. How long have we known that 1% of our country has all the wealth?
Right.
How long have we not done anything about it?
Yeah, it's been. I mean, I think
Everybody knows
we're
that. Why?
moving in the right direction. It's just a slow process, unfortunately. I mean, people do band together. Did you hear what happened in Missouri with that university?
No, I didn't.
The University of Missouri was having problems with racism there, right? Like at one point, someone smeared a fucking swastika and dog shit or some kind of shit on some person's dorm, and during a protest for race, has some kind of fecal matter.
Probably just their brain.
During some protest for racial equality or some shit, they fucking someone drives by and yelling nigger and all this other shit. And what ended up, okay, so this was going down. There was protests there. A student went on a hunger strike. Okay, he's like, until the president, and I think that's what you call him, president of the university, starts
Or
taking
Chancellor?
Chancellor, Dean, I'm not sure
Okay.
what you call him.
I think Chancellor's like the main guy.
Okay, until he starts making an effort to do something about all the racism on campus, I'm not going to eat no more, right? The biggest beef was that this president, Chancellor Dean, wasn't doing anything. And he was coming out and saying, your guys' I'm going to butcher it. Your guys' problems are just because you're not doing nothing about it, or something like that. So there was a big beef with it, and the football team ended up going on like a sit down. They weren't going to play no more games.
Wow.
Right? And then what's fucked up is like, that's what made
Oh, yeah.
the movement. That's when...
What, the football team?
Yes.
won?
That's when the president had to drop down and resign, is because of money. Because now in the university, you can have these people protest and starve themselves to death.
They're nobodies on campus.
Right? But once the football team stops, that's when he had to stop. Step
That's
down.
crazy.
Yeah. I forgot the point I was going to make with this. About this thing with, it was racism, I think. Damn it.
It's knowing the 1% not doing anything is what I
Oh,
said.
but the movement.
together.
These people banded together.
Yeah, people.
And were able to make, it took the football team doing it.
Right.
Because the guy who was on a hunger strike was an ex-football player. It took the football team, but all these people came together and made
Change.
something happen.
They made
the change happen. Made that guy drop down.
But that's what we need in society, those football players. You need the blue collar.
You need the name.
You need the name.
You need, the popularity.
Yeah.
Because if it was a bunch of poor people out there,
Because it was just students.
Yeah.
It was just students.
Hunger strike.
Students,
a bunch of
you
people
still
in
gonna pay
debt.
your tuition.
Yeah.
University's still gonna get their money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already bought your $250 book.
I think that was the biggest problem with that Wall Street strike, or what was that called?
Occupy Wall Street.
Occupy Wall Street.
That thing was a farce.
They never had a voice. It was a great movement.
You know what happened? It wasn't a movement at all. They said that there was going to be a Radiohead concert there.
Yeah.
So a bunch of concert goers showed up.
Oh.
A journalist set it up. A journalist set the whole thing up. And what she did was lie, say Radiohead was going to be there.
Oh.
So all these people show up, right, which are drug using, you know, not protesters.
Right.
You know, these people are hooligans.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not saying just because they use drugs. I'm saying like they're younger people.
They're not going to
They're not
protest
there
Wall Street.
to change
Yeah,
anything.
they're
They're
going
going
for a
there
concert.
to break fucking windows
Okay.
and to act a fool.
Okay.
And that's what happened there. And that's why nothing happened. Because that wasn't an actual movement.
It became a movement,
It
though,
became-
don't you think? Because
no,
it wasn't just at
what
Wall
it-
Street. It was like all over the country.
Did it accomplish anything?
Exactly.
No, it didn't accomplish
Exactly.
shit. It didn't
And because
accomplish
it was shit when it comes down to it.
It didn't accomplish.
People blowed about it like, oh my gosh, Occupy Wall Street, but it was actually just anybody that I talked to that was there
Yeah.
said it was like one of the most despicable things
I
I've ever
believe
witnessed.
that. I believe that too because they didn't have any kind of clear motive. Anytime they talked to someone on the news, no one was like, "This is why we're here.
Right.
And this needs to change." And
Because nobody knew. It was just
Right.
blah 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 blah.
it's really what it came down to.
Yeah.
But in another, and I don't know, it was nice to see. I don't know about nice. I don't know, man. I understand it's bullshit, but it shows that people can get together when they think there's something going on.
Yeah.
That shows that we do have the power.
Yeah.
If we can band together.
I mean Ferguson. I mean,
Yeah,
you look at
huge.
that. I mean, look at what an outcry and rage of social injustice that's
Right.
happening to where people have to act that way in order to
Get attention.
get
attention.
frustration out.
Yeah.
To feel like everything is against you,
Right.
and you have no other option than to just destroy shit and rebel.
Yeah.
And sometimes that gets more publicity.
Exactly.
Oh, it
and
does. It
negative
absolutely
voice.
does. It absolutely
Negative,
does.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
Charleston did a good job though. When that kid shot up that church,
Yeah.
they didn't riot. They didn't break their town apart.
Yeah.
They did it smart,
Yeah.
man. They banded together.
Same thing with Eric Gardner. He got choked out and killed right there on the street.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything that destroyed New York or
No. They had SWAT teams out there in New York,
you know,
crushing skulls.
and out in Baltimore. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much it happens and how much still people are like, well, what do you mean, man?
That's
You
why
know?
cops are under the scrutiny that they're under right now.
Oh.
Every week.
And
you got
now-
like one or two freaking cop
yeah,
news.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, one or two. I can't even.
keep up.
No, like literally, my Facebook is just filled because I found like
Nonstop.
so.
I
Yeah,
know.
and it's
Did
ridiculous.
you hear about the marshals in fucking Louisiana?
No, I don't.
Two
think so.
cops. From the body cam video, it shows these two cops and this dad, this father, who turned out to be a dad. This guy is standing with his arms up, and I haven't read up on the last 2 days, but the judge put a what do they call it? A gag order. A gag order where no news media can
Right,
announce
right.
anything new on the
Right.
court case, right? Well, these guys, what shows on the body camera, just started firing off on this guy and shot a 6-year-old kid that was in the car, autistic kid, and killed him, and the father got injured and it was in the hospital. And last time I knew he was in the hospital, still didn't know his son had died.
Jeez.
But these two officers marshals are in jail waiting for murder charges.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I mean, we could make a show on just talking about
Yeah.
cops,
And still
And-
nobody would believe it
right? Well, you would have people
and want to debate it.
Yeah.
It's and like we talked to before. I mean, if you learn the history of where the police originated, it's kind of disturbing. Anonymous released all that info on the KKK
Okay.
members,
I
I saw
over
something about that, but I didn't
members.
read it.
Actually, I looked through all the pages of it, and it was kind of baloney.
I was
It
worried.
was
I was worried if he just.
social media
Uh huh.
pages, like grand wizards that have already like released their data and information. They don't care.
Okay.
You know, so it was like stuff that you could have already found, and then names of all these members, but address unknown, phone number unknown.
So just filling space.
And then it was just like their Google account. And then it was like really nothing that was substantial or something that you could actually use to be like, you know, I'm looking like, which one of my neighbors is on here? You know, like there's nothing on there really. It was kind of.
And you know what? Do you think more now is like the Ku Klux Klan as a joke? Like I hear, okay, they're racist, but I don't have the time to give a fuck about you. If you're in the Ku Klux Klan, all right, fine. I know not to associate with you. You're a joke. I mean, your mentality is so far off base that, like, okay, I mean, say we found out some senator was a Ku Klux Klan member, right? He would be pushed out of his seat and then forgotten about because it's just so ridiculous to be a part of that organization.
Well, I think that's what the number one thing that they were trying to prove, I guess, or do with this.
It's expose people.
Is expose. I mean,
I hear you.
The sheriff of your town is actually a member of the KKK. You know, like actually reveal like all these people that were, you know, in these positions
of power, maybe.
Yeah.
Is there any background on how they got these names?
Anonymous. I mean, that's hackers.
This guy was supposedly hacked into a member's, I don't know, like files, computer, or some
like
kind of database.
Where he has all their information, like maybe there's like a main chapter of the KKK that has all the information held somewhere.
Seattle branch.
But, you know, yeah, and I understand what you're saying. I think once we underestimate them, we've gone in the wrong direction because it's not only the KKK, it's the Aryan Brotherhood. There's so many other chapters. The Aryan Brotherhood is a completely other game.
Yes.
Mostly made in prisons. These people are serious, these people are for real, and they work out.
They work out. And they take some roids.
And they will stomp your brains till they come out your ears with their Doc Marten boots. And
see, those people are no different than radical Muslims fucking strapping suicidal fucking vests on them.
Same thing with radical Christians or anybody
no
else.
No doubt about it. Anytime you become a radical in something, you're shutting out all kinds of other external opinions. The process of thinking for your own individual
critically thinking.
Yeah, you're shutting out becoming a better person.
Yeah.
You're saying this is the way, and this is all.
The one direction. You drive straight. Yeah.
The whole process of being a human is to grow and to be better and to make your environment better for the next generation. But when you put yourself in a stagnant mode and teach your children all these whatever racial or racist things, I mean, there's no growth.
Yeah,
no growth.
It's repetition. It's tradition. It's the same cycle of in and out, and you get that so many. I mean, it happens here in this small town. It happens everywhere. You know,
happens everywhere.
You're bound to whatever box that you were raised in, and it's up to you to pop that lid off and to climb out. And a lot of people, for whatever reason, decide not to.
I think social media has like a big part in having society underestimate like the KKK because of all like the different types of jokes that you can put on there. You know, they're wearing different colored hoods now, and there's a different joke to it. And I think that makes us laugh at it and feel like they're not such a threat. You know, and that instead of just looking at it and being like, oh, that sucks, you know, but still knowing that something could happen, like the stuff in France. Yeah, you know, you get this big like cartoon thing of terrorists or something, and then that terrorist is that group sees it, and they're like, these people have no idea what's in store for them.
Right. And the KKK is a terrorist group. I mean, back in the day, they bombed black churches. They
burnt crosses, shot.
They lynched how many African Americans? If you've ever seen those photos, are brutal, man. To just see somebody's neck like stretched out in the news and just hanging there, it's
barbaric, man. It's
It's-
barbaric.
yeah,
We would do that to you're doing it to your own neighbors. You know what I
You're
mean?
doing that to people that fill your country, and that I just
Yeah.
and I've said it before, but it's just we're a diverse country with not much diversity. Like we don't know the other races that fill our borders, and so like somebody, a Facebook again, like it's always somebody, a family member of all people, but they put something up and it showed the Twin Towers, of course, 9/11, and they said this is why I don't stand for equal rights with Muslims in America or whatever, and it's like not every
Your
Muslim
categories.
is you're hastily generalizing and stereotyping,
Yeah.
and saying that these people are literally responsible. The person that is taking their kid to school and living a life here that tried to maybe get away from something else, and I don't understand that, and the same thing with like the burqa and stuff. It's like if they want to wear that should be in their First Amendment, right? That's that's freedom of religion, that's freedom of expression, they can wear that.
They can wear that.
Same thing
What
with
do you
yoga
think
pants and saggy pants.
What do you think about the woman that wanted to be able to wear her burqa on her license, though? She didn't want to be photographed without it being on.
Right. Well, fuck.
That's a rough one.
That's a rough one.
It is a rough one.
Because that's your religious freedom.
You know what? I find that with the same thing with transgenders wanting to use the other bathroom, and how that's causing a big kind of controversy right now. Because that's a rough one for me too. Because
it's rough.
I usually want to side with whatever's most appropriate and politically correct for that person. I know PC is used a lot now as like a negative, so is liberal, and so is whatever else. But to me, it's a sense of empathy, a sense of understanding, and not being an in-group, like an in-group bias where, they're different than me, so thus for get them,
Yeah.
It's like, we need to learn how to understand people.
Yeah.
We need to learn how to understand cultures and be tolerant and non-prejudiced. And it's just, it blows my mind that that's so hard for people. Like, they're still stuck in that gung-ho, like...
They don't have the empathy to be able to put themselves in a different situation and understand that that person wasn't raised like you. They didn't go through every step that you went through to get you to where you're at. But you can't understand that they're reacting this way because of all of that stuff. Just because you focus and you're consumed by your own feelings, that you can't understand someone else has a different one.
Right.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, you can't understand why a black person is upset, about their predicament, because you've never been in that predicament. You've never been harassed by the cops like 5-6 times a day or whatever else.
Never.
Or followed in a store because they think you're stealing, which when I think I wrote it down, but there were a couple students in a Apple store in Australia. I thought I had it written down here, but they were kicked out. Two black students in Australian Apple store, literally videotaped with a person's phone, and the employees come up to them and they go, "We're sorry, but customers and we feel that you may be stealing something." And they're like, "What?" And they literally kick them out of the store, and that's never happened to me.
Right.
And I think without without the footage that we get, like when Rodney King was beaten, until that day, like people did not know that. I mean, they knew, like Black Panthers knew in the '60s, but to finally see that, it changed things, and now we see stuff constantly. It's constantly. I mean, there was a black kid that filmed like selfie style. A guy, it's hilarious. I mean, it's funny watching it, but it's not funny like what he's trying to prove. But this dude is like literally following him in this store, and he's like got his camera out like this on his phone, and he's doing the selfie, and he's like, watch, here he comes. And sure enough, like the employee like peeks around the corner, he's like, there he is. Does another couple turns, dude's coming.
Watching.
And just all the way, and he's like, all I did was come in here, get this, and it's like, this dude has just been following me, and I am just here to like buy this. And it's, that's never happened to me.
Right.
You know, maybe
Probably
when I was
never
like
will.
younger, maybe when I was like
Right.
13,
That's a
14,
big
or
maybe, right?
right, like in Wiseway or something. And I was like, you know,
I felt watched in Eden Gardens.
really?
Yeah.
Like pervert watched or?
No.
Dad's like,
No. Like,
Chuck's in there eyeballing
yeah. He's like, you need help?
No, like, well, I was up to no good or something.
you. You're probably just really high, and then they just thought people were checking, eyeballing you down.
Yeah, somebody's like, you're like, that person keeps looking at me, so he's like, that's a plant.
Well, when you pull up in a golf cart with like dogs
Oh, wow.
waiting there for you,
Yeah.
they're gonna think
How
something.
many dogs are we talking?
Just two.
Oh.
But it's enough in a golf cart.
Oh, yeah.
In Chesterton at
Yeah.
Eden Garden.
Oh man! Hey, I heard to bring it back just real quick to the $15 minimum wage thing. Joe's Crab Shack is in 12 different locations. Is dropping tipping altogether to pay their employees $12 an hour to see how that works. So that they can get a better wage
There you go.
to
Joe's
help.
Crab Shack?
Dude,
to
tipping
boost
literally
employee morale.
is just ridiculous to me. Talk about
Yeah.
a quagmire
I'll
because
tell you what, when we were in Europe, we loved not having a tip. It was perfect.
It was great.
you are paying the
business
business
service.
is you're paying their employees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they
It's
have to go in later and try and put it in the, most restaurants,
Right.
go and put it in the computer and try and claim it later.
Right, because
Or
you're
they
gonna
have
have
to wait.
tax on it.
Yeah.
Which
And you leave it on your card, then they have to wait to get that anyway.
Right, yeah, because I always see that later.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
like I do the tip with my card.
Me too.
And then they're like, it comes out now. And then I'm
No.
like, no, it didn't.
No, it
It
didn't.
just, then it's a week later. I'm like,
And you're
wow.
like, I'm missing $7.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I put $2 tip on that breadsticks we ordered to see.
Oh, yeah.
Get
There you go.
that. Everyone's
There
fucked
you
it up
go.
already. Everyone's fucked it up
There you go.
already. But that's good.
Yeah.
For Joe's Crab Shack, I think that's
Yeah.
the right move. Tipping is bullshit.
It is bullshit. And it's bullshit. And at the same time, like,
They came
waitresses really do make a pretty good living. off of
owners
those
came,
tips,
restaurant
but-
owners came up with a great method to cheat their employees
Mhm.
and save money
Yeah,
and just leave them hanging high and dry.
right. And
Now, if you get a great place to work, you can make killer on tips. There's no
Right.
doubt.
Yeah.
But usually you gotta be a younger female, you gotta be attractive, or a male, and you gotta know how to work it.
You
Oh,
do
yeah.
You
have
gotta
to know how
have
to
to
work it.
communicate, and you gotta
Yes, you do.
and you gotta put up with pigs, man.
Yeah.
Like when I worked at the truck stop, you wouldn't even believe what those guys said to the
Oh, the truck
waitresses.
stop?
Oh,
It was-
sure.
It was disgraceful, man. The shit that they would say, and do.
And you have to put up with it.
Yeah, because you want that tip.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna get what? $3 an hour? What is it? What's the average?
I think it's like $5. It's under minimum wage.
No, it can't be $5. I thought it was like $3.25.
When I worked at restaurants, I got like 2 something.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, and that's what's so bad. That's an hour, so
An
you're relying
hour.
on your tips.
Yeah, and then you get like
How is that
4
even?
hours.
How does that even make sense?
Right.
It's
How
ridiculous.
does that even make
It's
sense?
ridiculous.
Right.
When I worked at Drifters,
You,
I worked there for a couple weeks actually, because they had me on a night schedule. I was like 4 hours in the like dinner rush. In those 4 hours, I walk out with like $100. It was great. Every day was my first day for someone new though, because I'm not a good waitress. So I forgot that, but I was getting mad tips. Yeah, $2 an hour,
Yeah.
cash.
Right.
taking it home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd be able to hang on to my tip. I mean, just having that money every night right there in your hand, and knowing that you have certain bills and stuff, and you have cash instead of like a checkbook
card.
that- or a
Right.
card.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
a
you can be like,
paycheck,
I work tomorrow, I'll get those tips tomorrow.
Right, yeah,
I'll
let's
spend
go
this
drinking
now."
tonight.
Tomorrow.
Oh shit, that bill. I didn't make that many tips. It was slow today.
Not in the
You
cookie
know,
jar.
yeah.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
man, yeah.
Did you hear about SeaWorld?
Oh yeah, taking
Did you
away
hear
the
about
cool
SeaWorld?
world.
No.
Eileen?
They blame that on Blackfish documentary.
Yeah, and I should. Okay,
Because-
so we saw the Blackfish documentary.
Yeah.
Which
and
is
then
great.
What did
Watch
I
it.
tell you after we finished watching it?
That we would never go to see.
Never go to
I
SeaWorld.
already said the same thing. I
Never
said,
see
My
what
mom
SeaWorld.
didn't let us go.
Right.
When we were there during those times too, because I was talking about it.
Oh.
My age matches up with the times of when all this stuff started happening.
The
That we
killings.
went there. Yeah. And my mom's like, no, it's too expensive. We can't go.
Didn't you like see the entrance and shit? And you're
Yes. We were waiting at the entrance. And she said she would go check the prices. She had to have known the prices.
Okay.
You just know, you don't plan a trip like that.
Right.
And not know what you're going to do.
Right.
And spend money. And, you know, here we are, 3 kids just waiting.
Want to
Mom's
see
back.
Shamu?
No. Yeah. It was so colorful.
She's like, let's go by SeaWorld. No, sorry kids, crushing your dreams.
Yeah, I went there a little when Shamu was there.
You been there?
Oh yeah.
I've never been there. But okay, so SeaWorld in California, whatever, I think it's San Diego.
Yeah.
Is where the
San
SeaWorld
Diego.
is? Yes. Will starting, it's either starting or ending in 2016, will not have any more orca shows at all. And they will now be promoting like a show that shows orcas in their natural environment. How they're going to do that at SeaWorld, I
Right.
don't know. Do they free an orca a day or something?
Is
You know what I
SeaWorld
mean?
owned
I don't-
Videotape it.
Is SeaWorld owned by Disney?
I don't know.
I think so. I thought
It's
they are.
very possible.
So Disney just buys a part of the ocean and then they just film, put a
They're
crew
good.
out there who wants
In their natural habitat.
in their natural habitat that's now filled with plastic.
Yeah. So, but now
Disney,
SeaWorld has 200
Flying
locations. SeaWorld has 200 locations. I think
Yeah.
San Antonio in Texas and then
Okay.
Orlando.
Florida, that's one I
Right.
went to.
And they're still doing same-o.
Oh really?
They're not changing.
They're not changing.
It's just San Diego.
You know that's gonna be a domino effect.
Oh, it has
It
to
has
be.
to be.
It is.
It has to be. Their sales have dropped. They might as well just shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why you even bother.
I don't
Up
even
your
know.
dolphin
I
show.
don't even know why petting zoos and shit still exist.
You know why? You know
It's-
why?
it fucking-
Because those animals are dumb.
God, it gets me.
It's because those animals are dumb.
It's the
Like,
stay-at-home moms.
I-
Keep them going.
Joe Rogan does this bit where he talks about seeing a monkey and feel bad for the monkey because he's an intelligent animal and he's trapped in his cage, but seeing a giraffe and the giraffe don't give a fuck. The giraffe's happy. He's like, oh, I get food. I don't have to worry about predators. I'm good. I'm good in this fucking cage.
Yeah.
And it's kind of true. That's
I'm
why
good in
people.
this. But the petting
But
zoo
the-
is like what they have at the fair.
The fairs.
Where a kangaroo is in something as big as this area here
Yeah.
that can barely
When
move,
they can
and
jump
you're
their
feeding
feet.
it fucking corn and grain. That's not what they eat.
It's not what they eat at all.
But then if they're born there, do they know that they're happy there?
I don't
Because they
think,
don't
I
know
don't think
anything
any
else.
living creature, like, we put, like, hamsters in cages and stuff, and rabbits in cages and stuff, and, like, we love them, but
Well,
are they happy enough? Is their
No.
brain capacity enough where they feel bad in this cage? I don't know.
I
I don't think so.
I think the point there though is that those are more domesticated.
Okay.
You're
okay,
talking about
okay.
exotic animals.
Exotic,
Like
yes.
the circus has now said that they're not going to have elephants anymore,
Makes sense.
which is great.
Wow.
You know.
That's a good point.
You know,
Domesticated between
you're having
exotic.
tigers, you're having kangaroos, you're having giraffes. Like these aren't pets. These aren't things that we've worked through the centuries having.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Which to
You're
me,
right.
it's like, why do these things still exist? I mean, don't we know by now that these things are not the way about going? Like when you're
Yeah.
treating animals.
There's
it's-
certain counties, though, that can't have a turtle as a pet. Or that can't have a rabbit.
You can't
So,
have
like,
a box turtle here.
A box turtle?
Yeah.
You know, painted, right?
Painted?
I
Maybe.
think painted turtle you can.
That's true. You can, I don't know.
I don't know if you can. I don't think you could take a turtle out of its natural environment and keep it at your house. I don't think you're
Well, I mean,
supposed
they
to.
have turtles at pet stores around here.
They do, and those have to be licensed breeders that you can get them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
Right.
so
Oh,
as long as they can
so
control it somehow.
where they're
you
coming
can't
from,
have anything.
you can
natural.
sell them.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Are they getting taxed?
The people that are breeders, yeah, they're getting taxed.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have to be
Probably
licensed
pay
through the
for
state or the
permits.
county.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, but it's a way that the state can regulate another thing and take a
Another-
little bit of
another
the
natural
fun out of there,
thing,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, but you find this little hurt turtle, and
Yeah.
just because you found it, you can't take it in and nurture it?
By law, you're not supposed to.
That's what's wrong.
We had a broke down crane over here, and I tried catching that.
Sandhill crane.
A sandhill crane with a broken wing.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Dude, that thing is fast. I thought I'd catch that thing. Just run after it because it can't fly. It had a broken wing, and when it would go to fly, it would just crash to the ground.
Oh.
Dude, them things are like ostriches. They have that backwards appendage knee and stuff. Those things take off, and they're gone, man. I couldn't keep up. There was not even a chance. Didn't even have a chance. I was thinking, I'm going to get a blanket. I'm going to catch it, sneak up on this thing, throw a blanket on it, tackle it down, and then Eileen's going to drive me to the vet. Dude, I was like, I'm going to try and get up. No, not even a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Mother Nature would design it too well.
And they mate for life, so the mate that wasn't hurt.
I like wolves.
I wanted to.
Wolves?
Mm-hmm. Wolves mate for life, so do penguins. They mate once and then they're with the same mate forever.
Alright.
I wanted you to catch the mate.
crane? Yeah. Oh, the mate. Yeah, I'm not catching that guy.
After he says he can't catch the one that's hurt. Like, when
No.
you're not catching.
I'm not catching a bird that can fly.
Yeah, you soak that fucking blanket in chloroform.
Yeah, shoot some strength darts at him.
Yeah.
He's in the back of the truck with it. I'm driving into the vet.
Shit.
It was sad.
Had all good intentions, but didn't pan out.
Yeah. Willie Nelson
What's that for weed again?
no, actually he started a movement and a campaign to stop corporations from controlling cannabis.
Awesome.
Kind of going on like taking a natural turtle that's there and then looking at your pet as you
Right.
know, like, it's
Did
saying
you hear
that-
Eileen, did you hear what happened with Ohio? They were getting ready to they voted on legalizing marijuana.
Yeah. I didn't
Section
read the
3 or
article. I
something.
saw the headline.
So they voted it down, and the big negative to it was that 3 companies were going to own all the growing rights for 10 farms for the entire
The
state.
state. Wow.
Yeah, 3 companies.
And these
And the
companies
people
are
that-
already like big companies, you know.
The companies are actually who pushed the campaign for legalization. They spent over $12 million.
So they wanted their piece.
Oh yeah, they're the ones that made the push for the campaign to legalize, so that they could control the whole market. And people shot it down. Thank God, because that's 100% ridiculous. It's bad enough people can't grow tobacco or
Right.
coffee beans.
Right.
How big are these 10 farms?
Or
Are they gonna be?
They're gigantic, going to be
Yeah, it
to
was,
supply the whole state.
Ohio's huge.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
remember how many
Acres.
acres, but yeah, it was insane.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
And so now you get busted. If that were to pass, you get busted. Growing in your own home,
right.
you're still going to jail because now it's illegal for you to grow.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you only can be in these companies that can do it. So
Now
I'm glad they shot it down. Willie Nelson's doing what
And
now?
now Willie Nelson has actually started a movement and campaign. I'm not sure what it's called or how you donate to it, but it's actually a movement to prevent corporations from ever controlling cannabis all out, so that it will always be natural, it will always be for the people, it will always be allowed for people to grow, harvest, and do what, if you want to have a few plants or whatever,
Yeah.
or you want to be a grower, then you file, you get the permit and do whatever, but you do it, and you can never be, held without that or outside of it, because corporations have come in, like Walmart, or like, not Walmart necessarily, but another company that big going, we grow it all. And
Monopolizing it.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah.
now you can never do it.
Right.
He wants it to always be natural, and I think
That's an awesome movement.
he's getting so old now. I think
he's up there.
I think he's really devoted to this, and I think it's like his thing that he's really trying to do to like leave his mark. Other than his epic music career and everything
Yeah.
else, but I think this
What
is
he
like
stands
his.
for as an
Yeah, I
individual.
think this as an individual and a cause for him. He really wants this to be his legacy.
It's awesome. Snoop Dogg's doing some shit too. I forgot, I didn't write anything down, but I think he started up like some kind of cannabis channel or something.
Really?
He's trying to push cannabis like nobody's
Dude,
business.
I'm telling you, Snoop Dogg is one good entrepreneur. He thinks of everything. I mean, if it wasn't for him, the Pop Warner Football League in his area
would have done. Yeah.
And he stepped up. He funded it. He actually is the coach.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy what he wanted to open up. In a lot of ghettos, they have to travel outside, right? Because stores don't want to open up, convenience stores or supermarkets. Well, he wanted to open up grocery stores and call them snooper markets. Just so that these urban communities could actually have somewhere to shop. I don't know if he ever went through with it, but I thought it was just hilarious.
Market, that's great.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg making moves.
Miley Cyrus posed completely nude for the V magazine.
The V?
Yeah.
She's done nude stuff before, huh?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's really nothing new.
Right.
But by 2050, it's estimated that no one will smoke cigarettes anymore.
Nobody. Zero. Is this nationwide or worldwide?
This is in this country.
Okay, alright.
I'm sure in France they'll still be smoking it up.
Motherfuckers are smokers over there.
But it was 20.9% of the population smokes cigarettes. Right now, it's 16.8. It's dropped that much.
Quitting more and more every day.
And they're saying by 2050 it should be almost obsolete.
Wow. Cigarette companies ain't going nowhere. Just because they're not going to smoke here don't mean the whole fucking country, world.
And talk about Willie Nelson's movement. Who do you think is the first ones to try and monopolize marijuana?
Sure.
Tobacco companies, Philip Morris, Camel. They're all going to jump on that bandwagon.
As soon as it goes federal.
Yeah.
They'll be pushing out, they're going to be changing their farms over to
If it's not federally done by 2050, shoot me. If it's not done by that, shit.
I don't know if we couldn't get Italy on board or France, because when we went, you can't get cigarettes after like 9 p.m. at night.
Oh yeah.
What?
Like the stores that sell cigarettes
This doesn't make sense.
they're not open. You can't go to a gas station and buy a pack of smokes.
Nope.
You can't go to like a convenience store like a CVS.
Yeah.
The big thing is pharmacy. That's what they got on their pharmacy with a big green X. You can't get a pack of cigarettes at the pharmacy. Where you can get a pack of cigarettes anywhere here.
Oh yeah.
No, not anymore, because I think CVS
They're stopping.
stopped carrying cigarettes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a pharmacy. Why
Walmart
are they fucking carrying shit that kills you? That doesn't make sense.
There's so much in their warehouse, though, I swear, because they told me this months ago. And when I go to the CVS still here, they still have like random ones. So they're like actually selling, right? The ones that cool, that they stocked up on. They still have some, because there was some lady in front of me that was buying them, and I was like, what are you doing?
Wow. Yeah, in Saudi Arabia, it's illegal to have alcohol.
Yes.
And recently somebody tried smuggling some in. Did you hear about it? It was Heineken bottles, or cans.
Cans.
And they created these these paper sheets that covered it up, right? And made a false label and made it look like Pepsi cans.
Okay.
And so but they got busted. And I watched Locked Up Abroad. Have you ever seen that show?
No.
There was an episode about a guy that was sneaking wine to parties for like these high elites of Saudi Arabia, and friends of his that wanted to party, and so he was making a killing bringing in this wine. Gets arrested. Dude, I'm guaranteeing that this person just got some serious fucking time, like 30 years in this fucking
crazy
prison.
Because it's a religious offense.
Yeah, it's
against a religion to drink alcohol. You're not supposed to consume nor promote alcohol.
So to bring it into their country, it was in their country?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And but if you ever see the picture, we'll try and put it up on the website, but it's crazy what people think of drug dealers, and not drug dealers necessarily, but cartel people, and like the people that actually have to smuggle things in, what they think of. Because these labels were so, legit. Perfect.
How do they know?
They took a knife, cut it, and it just came right off. And right underneath it said Heineken. And they were like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
When I was 16, my mom was drinking with a friend and her wine coolers. And I dumped a Pepsi out. It was funny, that's what clicked. You said Pepsi?
Yeah.
I dumped a Pepsi out and poured the wine cooler in it. And it was just like walking past, going upstairs, going to my room. And her friend was like, Eileen, what do you have? And I was like, well, pop. And she was like, that's not a pop. And I'm like, how the hell does she know this? Yeah, it is. Come here. If it's a pop, let me try it.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm thinking she's just going to give up. She had no idea how, they're already probably buzzed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And she was like, that's not a pop. My mom was just like, go dump it out. I didn't get in trouble or anything.
You're lucky.
That's crazy.
Wow.
She saw you doing it.
They could
Had
have.
to.
She had to have saw
Had
you
to
do
have
it.
something.
Nothing just like, dee. Oh, there's alcohol in that pop can.
Unless you're not a good liar and you got like you don't have a poker face.
She's a good liar.
All I had
She's a good liar.
She got hardcore poker face.
Yeah.
All
then
I did
don't
was
know.
walk from the kitchen past them upstairs. That was a good 10 feet away.
Right, they smelled
Busted.
Oh.
My first
Wine
sip of
cooler,
alcohol.
sugar.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's not Pepsi sugar.
Yeah, why you going up to your room so fast?
Speed walking over there, aren't you?
Yeah, it's little
Want to
kitty.
watch Seinfeld with us?
Dude, my first sip of alcohol was a Budweiser, and you know how you can crack a can, just crack it, and then like suck the fucking liquid out from the seal? Right? I did that to her with a Budweiser, because my mom was dating this guy that just had beer. We never had beer in the fucking house, ever. I'm like, I'm gonna try it. Thought it was disgusting, dude. Thought it was disgusting. I was like, I'm not ever drinking this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first beer was a Little King.
Oh.
I've never even had that.
It's they're
They don't make them no
small. Do they not make them anymore?
I've never seen them.
I could not finish it.
Yeah.
My Uncle Rich, you know.
Is that gross?
Yeah, I grabbed it. He was like, "You want it?" He's like, "You won't even like it." I took a sip, sat it down, and just had it quietly because I was like, "I am not drinking that."
That guy.
Especially, I think Little Kings was probably like the worst first
Some
beer.
malt
But I guess
liquor.
Budweiser. I mean, if that was your first beer, because that's kind of like a normal.
Your normal beer.
Yeah, it's not
just
a
that
lager.
It's
not
bitter when you're a child and you like the sweets,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
and
my
then
gosh,
you taste
Wine cooler.
this bitter ass drink. You're like, no, man, why are you drinking this?
Yeah.
This is
Why would you ever?
gross."
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I don't know what my first beer was.
Yeah.
Like the actual brand.
First time I got sick off of alcohol was drinking Tequila Rose.
Oh, Tequila Rose.
Just pounded that shit down one night.
man.
Strawberry milk.
It's terrible.
We used to get that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Take shots all.
For what reason?
I don't know.
Did you put whipped cream on the top
No.
too? And go like,
You're drinking straight out the
That's what I
fucking
Oh,
bottle.
yeah, I would pour it in my mouth. I'd spit it into his.
Right, I swoosh it around,
Right.
slug it, puke it back into his
And you
bottle.
said tequila.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to get sued.
Dude, I hear Pee Wee Herman's coming back he's going to be on the Gotham show as Penguin's dad.
Yeah.
I can
Definitely.
see that look, that resemblance.
Well, he
Well,
was.
he's in Batman Returns as Penguin's dad.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in the very
Batman
beginning of
Returns.
Batman Returns.
Which one is that
Danny
one?
DeVito is Penguin. Michael Keaton's Batman. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
That's the second one?
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
yeah, he's
Weird.
the one with the mom that drop him off in the water.
The water.
To get rid of him.
Yeah.
But you just see him for a quick second where he turns and looks before Penguin grabs the cat and brings it into the little
The bassinet thing.
Like they have him in a cage.
Oh, that
actually.
was a cage.
Yes.
Yeah, with bars, and
Yes.
he pulls the cat through the
We
bars.
gotta watch that movie again. That movie is so
Yeah.
awesome.
Literally is my favorite Batman movie.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
excited for the Gotham show for Penguin to go into the sewers because
Yeah.
I liked that one so much.
Have you seen the new episode?
Oh, I'm all caught up.
Riddler, and Penguin.
Spoiler alert!
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the episode. Yeah, this episode I thought was kind of lame.
It was alright.
So,
It was
the one before where everybody dresses up as Penguin and they come
was
storming.
so
in.
good.
Gosh,
So
man, that
good.
was awesome.
See, but you need the episode that just
the
passed
calm,
it's
bring it down.
yeah, because it's that middle ground. It's like,
The
okay,
middle
you
of
had
the
this
season.
awesome episode. Now this one's gonna keep up, get them fucking ideas going and the
Yeah.
plot moving, and the next episode because it ended with how I'm not gonna spoil it in this case, no one's seen it, but it ends so awesomely like
Yeah.
that the
You
next
know, the
episode is gonna be
yeah.
starting putting some real shit together.
Yeah, definitely. Supergirl is already close to being canceled.
Oh no, is it
Was that
really?
a show?
Yeah, it's on CBS. Apparently, I don't know.
Did
It's
it
just
Farmville or Smallville?
Yeah, how did that show do well?
I don't.
How does Vampire Diaries do well?
I love Vampire Diaries.
There you
I
go.
love
That's
it. You know what? I'll tell you how it does well. It's stimulating, and I found myself to be probably pretty superficial, I guess. I like something that's pretty to look at, and I think every character in that show has some type of attractive feature. Whether it's the way they dress, the way they do their hair, their makeup, how the guy's accent is or something, that I am stimulated just looking at the screen. I think there's some shows that you watch that I don't find anything stimulating. Yeah. But their storyline is great. I just can't, if I'm not relaxed enough, focus on the screen.
Right.
Like The Flash.
These pretty dresses and pretty shoes.
Yeah, which I just started watching The Flash. I like it.
It's good.
I like it better than Arrow.
I agree with you.
And he said that you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it way better than Arrow.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah.
But Arrow has a lot of visually stimulating things for me.
Yeah, that guy has a chiseled jaw and like
an Arrow.
Yeah, he's got that.
And he always has a 5 o'clock shadow.
Right, totally. And he's always like, "Mother, what have you been doing?"
The shit they do in that, Eileen will tell you, dude, the shit that they do in that show just picks me off because they'll like do something and like whine about it, and I'm like, shut up! It doesn't make sense. Why are you complaining right now?
But most of the time, it's the female characters.
Oh, it's for sure the female characters.
So like, I think
and it's female characters, and it's the Arrow. He drives me nuts. Like towards this new season, I don't know how far you are. But he's got this like soft tone and like these soft eyes, and he wants to talk calmly to people, and it's like, dude,
I was on an island trained.
Oh, you know what really pisses me off about the show?
And I'm like this.
You know what?
Tell me more.
You know what has really gotten to piss me off about that show is the non-stop flashbacks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I only got, I think, 17 episodes in, and it was just over and over, and I was like, okay, when are we done with this fucking island flashback shit?
Never.
Like, he met another person, then another person. Like, how many people are on this fucking island?
I've come to the conclusion that the flashbacks will meet up with the beginning of the story at the very end of the show.
Series.
What do you mean?
When the show ends, the final episode, you'll see the last flashback that'll be him coming back to Sterling City.
So they're covering his entire
That's what it's
I like your theory.
Right. We were watching a show that had a flashback.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, what
fucking
Yeah.
flashbacks. I don't remember what show that
used
was.
to like flashbacks.
The only thing, when I go on the flashback, I watch fucking Family Guy.
Family Guy, they do great flashbacks.
Yeah.
It's true. Very true.
Ugh.
Dude, let's do Buffoon Goon. You got any?
Oh yeah, I've got 2 actually.
Buffoon Goon!
Dun, dun.
Buffoon Goon!
Dun, dun. Goon. Okay, Matthew Flieger, who's 36, a man in Pennsylvania. I'll have to put the video on our Facebook page, but this guy literally walked into this store. A female cop was in there. He reached for her gun and tried to take it. You can see it all in the video.
Oh my god.
She does exactly what she should have. She turns away from him, pushes him away. I mean, the dude is literally grabbing. You can see, like, I mean, he's trying to get at it. She gets him, pushes him away. He tries to run towards the door. She shoves him. Female cop, she shoves him, fucking stands her ground, pulls out her taser or her stun gun, and is like, stay exactly where you are. He tries to like move past her again. She shoves him, tries to tase him. His jacket's so thick it doesn't get him. The dude's busted though. He couldn't leave the store. The chick, I mean, she
was on him.
Kept him in check, dude. Just he could not leave. He kept, I mean, full force trying to like run at the door to get out of there. You know. And I don't know.
Maybe it was this chick.
I was gonna say that too.
I mean, she looked shorter than the guy in the video, which videos can distort because it's definitely at an angle.
Sure.
But she was pretty wide. I mean, and I'm not saying like she was fast, but
Thick.
she's
a thicker
I'm
lady.
sure she had. I mean, you can see in the video she is like controlling this dude.
What are we saying? Like 5'8", like
I'm,
170.
honestly, I have no idea. I don't know if this guy was 5'11". If he was, then she was 5'9". It's hard to tell.
He's a meth head. She's fucking
Definitely not
professional
a meth head.
bodybuilder.
I don't think this dude was a meth head. I think he was either thinking he was funny or he was drunk.
Right, probably drunk.
Because how stupid do you have to be to try and grab a cop's gun in the phone? So, I mean,
he's so lucky she didn't
shoot the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
He was white.
She would have beat.
Just put that out there. Because I think if he was black, he might have been
He
shot.
might have had that.
He might.
Is she white?
Yeah, they were both white. But yeah, I mean, the video is crazy. And
I don't know.
I couldn't believe the stupidity
I
of
don't
this guy
know.
and why he literally just walks up and tries to do it.
In a convenience
But
store?
it seems like he's doing it as like, ha ha, like, oh.
I don't know if anything's gonna beat that.
Anyway.
But I got one for you.
Okay, let me do my second one though.
Oh, I was gonna mix it up. We'll do one.
Okay,
go
you want
ahead.
to? No, do yours.
Alright, I got one coming from overseas.
Oh, you do?
One from Japan.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, so this Japanese man got busted hiding in street drains, taking pictures of chicks underneath their skirts.
What?
In Japan?
In Japan, he was doing upskirt shots and was hiding in fucking, not sewer drains, but like grates, street drains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taking pictures of girls underneath the skirts. This isn't his first time. He got busted, like 3 years prior to this.
Doing the same thing?
Same thing. Got busted because girls could see someone's hair sticking out of the drain. And
Oh man, cut your hair,
That's
dude. Cut your hair. Put
Loose it down.
Yeah.
Saw his hair sticking out.
Incognito.
Pulled his ass out of the drain. Arrested him. He said he was in the drain since like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was just like hanging out down in there, taking
Taking
pictures.
You think he masturbates while he's down there?
I'm sure he does, dude.
Oh, there's no telling.
I'm sure. I guarantee you it.
Dude, you know what? Everybody likes an upskirt shot. And I always thought, like, what do people do in
To
order
get
to
them?
get
Get
these?
'em?
I
Hang
guess
out in the
you
drain.
hide in the drain.
In
You
Japan.
hide in
Of
the
course.
drain. Or you buy a selfie stick.
Yeah. And you go in the stores.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Because, a guy was busted, a mom saw that a guy was constantly close to her daughter. And the guy was getting close with his phone so he could get up her daughter's skirt and just take a picture. And she was like 16 years old, and try to get a fucking shot. And, she busted him. And then the dude tried to run away, and actually one of the people working the store, without any hesitation, just fucking grabbed the dude. And the guy got busted.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So that's my Japanese guy.
Wow, I like that one. I don't know if that's stupid or just pitiful. Wow. Okay, Melissa Ann Wright was in a Kansas Walmart. And right there in the aisle, she was caught huffing air duster in the store. An employee saw her,
It's a Walmart.
called 911. The cops showed up. She didn't stop because she's
High as
probably got the fucking Wawas.
Like
and
nobody's
everything.
You want to kill brain cells, do
Oh
that.
my god! But this is a fucked up thing, man. And the mugshot photo is horrifying. She was holding it in her mouth and doing it so hard that her entire face was frostbitten and like scabbed up. And the photo is just awful.
I gotta look it up.
It was so cold that it frostbit her lip into her like cheek, and it just carries over. And it's nasty. But yeah, Melissa Ann Wright
That's terrible.
was huffing inside of a Walmart. Why do people just think of doing shit inside of Walmart?
Like
how
the
many
sausage?
food- Yeah, oh my gosh. Put sausage in you.
That's fucked.
She needs to get together with the drain guy.
Yeah.
I got a picture for you.
Totally.
Alright, my last one I have Alright, a drunk man had a 9-year-old boy drive him to the gas station to buy barbecue sauce for his chicken dinner. And when he got there, the clerks would not let that boy drive him home. So he drove home, the clerks called the cops, he got pulled over and got child endangerment, a DUI. He didn't take the breathalyzer, so he got charged for that. Suspended license. But this is what's fucked up. Is like the parents of this 9-year-old boy. This isn't his dad.
Oh,
this is like a neighbor.
What?
Yeah,
oh,
is having this 9-year-old boy for dinner, and the parents let this kid go over there. When the parents were questioned, they said, "We didn't know he was drunk." So you can take who you want to say is the buffoon goon in that one, but that's fucked up all around.
Yeah, that's inexcusable.
That is fucked up.
Yeah, that is.
So, Eileen, you get to pick who the buffoon
You're the
goon
guest.
Man.
Let's go over it one more
Yeah,
time.
recap.
Okay, we got the man that went for the police officer's gun.
We got drain pipe Jack.
That's the most racist thing. Melissa Ann Wright in Kansas with her fucking frostbitten face from air dusting.
And the 9-year-old chauffeur.
I have to go with the guy in the drain.
Guy in the drain?
Yeah, I just have to.
Yeah,
Because the other ones are just like, gosh, that's stupid, but that one made me laugh.
Okay.
And
All
before
right.
makes me laugh.
Alright, I gotta go for the guy pulling the gun on the cop. That's just crazy.
Dude, I'm telling you, and when you watch that video, it is absolutely
I
ridiculous.
have to watch that.
Yeah, that's
There was an article that.
What's that chick's name? Type that in there. I wanna see, I gotta see that photo.
The picture of her from.
Yeah, what were you saying now?
That I put on Facebook, the video or the article about the people that called the police that said there was like a person coming out of their refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a good one too.
I did write that down.
Did you?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So she must have had it right here in the side
That looks like
where you just hold it,
looks
you
like
know?
a birthmark
Yeah.
burn. Oh.
It just literally
terrible.
burned her entire face.
See if we can get that on the video so people
Yeah, get that. So
see if you guys
people can see
see
it.
that.
Get that.
Oh,
Kiss that.
brutal.
Right?
Burnt up face.
I don't have a problem. I'm not addicted to anything.
So yeah, I think brought up something. This couple called 911 5 times because they saw a possum and people jumping out of their fridge and microwave. Okay, finally cops showed up. They said they weren't on drugs. Obviously, they're stone sober, seeing fucking shit coming out their microwave. So when the cops did the background check on the two, the guy had 6 felony fucking warrants for drugs for narcotics.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So the cops making him do field sobriety tests or something. He's like questioning or whatever else.
Yeah.
And while he's like interrogating this guy, the guy's like telling the deputy, he's like, "I can feel you touching my eyes," and like just, dude, the guy's on like, that's what they said he was on.
Bath
Flocka is what they said,
Yeah.
which is bath salt. It's a type of meth. It's just
Wow.
another type of meth.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, dude.
They said they had pictures of them too. They were taking pictures.
Yeah, well, he also said something
It's
like,
just a normal
he's like, there's
microwave. He's like, ah!
dude, they were talking about, there's a man right there, there's a man right there, and he's like, looking at some picture of a wall, and the cop's like, I don't see none. He's like, only I can see him. And they were fucking tripped out their mind. Tripped out their mind.
Oh, let's
Holy
call the
cow.
police. 'cause
Did you hear
there's
Yeah.
a possum coming.
about the guy that went
Let's
into
disconnect your phone before you start taking Flocka and bath salts, you know? Fucking call the cops.
Oh, shit. The guy that went into the convenience store in Washington,
Okay.
and there were 2 females waiting to be checked out. He was on his phone, just, you know, waiting in line to purchase stuff.
We talked about this.
And one of the women come to him, start grabbing on him. He's like kind of pushing away. The one up waiting to be checked out starts, you know, pushing her butt and twerking on him.
The one in the red dress like's trying to grab his dick.
Yeah.
She followed him.
He's a teacher,
Okay.
and he was immediately worried to cause a scene because there were two gentlemen waiting outside, he said. And even this dude looked pretty big. But but he said that he just did not want to get shot that day. And if so he really didn't want to shove these women.
Right.
And so that's why in his defense in the video he doesn't literally like defend himself.
He just walks.
Because he said he could clearly see that there were two guys that were with these females.
Yeah.
He didn't know if they were pimps, whatever.
They look clearly like fucking women of the night.
Yeah, and
I
so.
do like their dresses.
Oh, yeah, that's my wife.
But so he went outside, and when he went outside to phone the police after the incident, they flashed him even.
Yeah. Okay.
And he phoned the police. He made sure that his identity was never released because he didn't want to be, any trouble for this, especially being a teacher. One girl was actually found and arrested, but it literally brought up a good conversation of the double standard, because if it was a man grabbing on a woman, oh my gosh, there would be outrage.
Yeah.
Outrage. They would want that person hung.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been called rape and not sexual abuse.
Oh, definitely, or sexual assault, which they put this under.
Yeah.
But it literally is a double standard, and the guy didn't want these girls on him.
No.
They're totally
Clearly
just
prostitutes.
grabbing all over him.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they weren't prostitutes, say he's a married man, he doesn't want another woman, even if she's not a hooker. Coming up and flirting with him, grabbing him, getting all in his space.
Right.
Fucking crabs.
Yeah, whatever. Even if she's clean, I mean, even if it's the girl working behind the counter and he's getting checked out, and she leans over the counter and grabs him and goes, you sexy, and whatever else. Like, if a guy would have done that, it would have been over.
It would have been rape.
And so. Yeah, it's weird because I wonder. This woman was arrested, but literally
they took it super serious, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's surprising
that's the only reason I won't say the only reason, but that's a big reason why it's got such notoriety, is because whatever police, state officers, or whatever they took it very serious.
And he took the right steps.
And this guy took it seriously. And this guy took it seriously because how many guys literally would have let that girl twerk on
9 times out of 10, they would have.
Or
9 times out of 10, the guy would have been like,
off.
"Get the fuck off of me," and would have left it at that. They would have never went to the police.
Right.
They would have never sought any law enforcement.
Yeah.
And it would have just been a done deal. You know what I mean? But he was sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
100%. So. Yeah. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I mean, it really comes down for that. Women has a right to do that, as you do. A guy has every right to follow the same suit if he feels assaulted.
Yeah, and definitely, I mean, he didn't ask for anything. He was waiting in the video.
He was like an ATM and then went to stand in line.
Yeah, he was on his phone. It looks like he's talking to somebody, and then they just start, trying to love up on him.
That was not love.
No, but you know what I mean. I mean, it's flirtatious. It's flirtatious, touchy. Yeah, they had frostbite all over their face.
Hey, baby.
I can't believe it. Like, don't you feel that your face burning if that was happening? Or would you have a Wawa so bad fish out and you wouldn't even?
Yeah, that shit's so ridiculous. I did that a couple times in my life, and that stuff is fucking crazy.
The computer's in your head.
Ooh, yes, sir. Sends you into a not normal state of mind, that's for sure.
Fucking Friday the 13th.
That's beyond not normal. There's one thing of like taking some psychedelics and having a little trip and going into like an inner conscience.
Right.
And then there's another thing of puffing air duster and totally distorting every neuro passageway to your brain.
Right. It's hippie crack. Because it is nitrous, that's what you're huffing.
Yes.
That's what hippie crack is nitrous. Right. The whip it's off Cool Whip, I mean, you do all that shit.
Yeah, but does it even, I wonder if that stuff, like, because like cocaine or whatever else, it raises your endorphins, and that's what gets you that high, right? To easiest way of describing it.
Yeah, it depends on the drug.
Whippets, nitrous, that doesn't raise endorphins, or what is, do you know what that does chemically to your body to get you that high?
Well, the high is most likely coming from the lack of oxygen.
Okay.
Mixed with whatever nitrous does, which I'm not sure. Yeah, the woozy, which I would think most of that comes from the lack of oxygen, to where you fish out.
So you are literally killing your brain.
Yeah, you are destroying brain cells. I'm sure doing that. But the whole thing is that, see, that's a lot of propaganda from the 80s and the DARE movement.
Yeah,
and Ronald
brains
Reagan,
killing brain cells.
Because brain cells rejuvenate. They come back.
Right.
Just like the 10% of your brain you use your whole brain. I dare you to take 90% of your brain out.
Right.
See how you function.
Right.
You use the whole fucking brain, okay? Your brain you use. It's not just 10%. Stop telling people that as if it was a fact, because it was debunked like 25 years ago. We use all of our brain. The thing is that you can burn out your dendrites. Like you have, your neurons is what fire off, right? Your neurons are firing off, and your dendrites come off there, and they're like these little wavy vein-looking things, almost like roots, like Groot from, like the bottom half of him, like being all rooty.
Yeah.
Think of that, and that's what a dendrite, and those can actually like dry up to where those are never coming back, and then if your synapses, which fire off, those can dry up too and stop firing. So when your synapses and your neurons are no longer going off, then you're destroying your brain.
Okay.
And that's what happens. Like they say that happens with ecstasy, where your brain does this complete drop of serotonin. Say, okay?
Yes.
So it's like bam,
Flooded
you just took the drop, it just flooded your brain with serotonin. Well, it's gonna take 2 weeks maybe for your brain to actually get back to where it was. So if you do ecstasy again, your brain hasn't recovered at all. So now you're boom dropping whatever you had, and that's where you become depressed is a major, but you actually dry out a part of your brain to where your brain cracks, because that is so just done. It's so dry right there. It's just been plop, plop, plop. You can't do it anymore. Your brain's already dumped it. And it makes you then. With cocaine, it's the same thing as sugar, and that's the big controversy now. Because I remember when I was younger, dude, I ate sugar like fucking crazy. I used to eat ice cream.
We always had 2-liter pops.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was nonstop.
Young man, I'm fucking 8, 9 years old. I'm blah 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 blah, sugar.
Hey, but you need to pay attention in school, guys.
Right. And you need to not get into drugs. Well, you just raised me on a drug, because sugar fires your brain off in the same way as cocaine.
True. So you thirst for that high.
Exactly, and they now believe that. Damn near everyone believes in the scientific community, although they're not allowed to say it because of the war on drugs, that sugar really is the first gateway drug. Because once you turn these kids onto sugar, their brain is already firing off in that addictive personality.
Let a kid love his Fruity Pebbles and not have his Fruity Pebbles anymore.
Right, yeah.
Oh, your whole day is off.
Totally.
Behavior at school. And my Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
but the dry socket, that happens with that fucking constant dump of serotonin or.
What's interesting, I don't know, from the times that I've tripped, like on mushrooms or LSD, I don't think I've ever felt depressed on it.
You're talking about something different.
That's like the DMT kind of effect, right?
You're talking about something that's not chemically made.
Right, that's something that's naturally made in your brain.
More naturally made. Even LSD, they've shown over and over again that it literally has few negative, if any, because they have to say few as like that.
Precautionary.
Right. So, you can't say it's 100% fine, because that would, not only outrage everybody, but they would be like, that can't be true, it causes you to be insane and whatever else. But they've never proven it.
Complete opposite.
Never proven it.
Complete opposite than insanity. Can you have a bad trip and freak out? Sure. But it will open your eyes to another world, and not so much another world, but another thought, a process of thinking, where it can open up boundaries. Where like when you come out of the trip, you can see everything. You can take your life, your normal everyday life, as a different way of doing something. You can change it. I mean, it's. You have to experience to know it, but it's eye-opening. It's really what it is. It's really what it is. I love it.
Yeah,
It's been a long time.
It's one of those things where, like anything, you know, it's for certain people. You know, certain people aren't going to be able to do things that other people are, and it's going to affect other people in different ways. You know, I've seen people take drugs and be okay. I've seen other people take the same drugs and not be okay.
I talked to someone and he said he smoked weed. He barely ever smoked weed, but when he smoked weed, he got super paranoid, freaked out. I said, you probably smoked too much. You should just take a couple hits and chill and just see how that feels. Don't fucking chief down the fucking fat joint with two people.
Yeah, especially if you've never smoked.
And especially if you've never smoked, and then expect everything to be fine.
Too much, yeah.
You went too hard.
Yeah.
You went too hard.
Yeah. That's brings the Ronda Rousey, who's also fighting for.
Oh yeah.
Marijuana
tomorrow.
I
thought you were fighting.
Oh, she's fighting tomorrow.
She's fighting tomorrow.
Okay. Well, she actually came out and said that she's backing Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
She's giving him money, and not only is Ronda Rousey, but he's actually been backed by one of the biggest unions, the U.S. Postal Workers Union.
Shut up.
Backing Bernie Sanders. Yep.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. So.
She should get his picture on her ass shorts.
Which you could.
Which, I mean, the comments for it, you know, people were saying Ronda Rousey, I knew she was an idiot for backing Bernie Sanders.
And that's fine, because you got your haters out there.
She had to be ready for that.
Yeah.
That girl is tough as fuck. She is mentally strong. She ain't listening to that bullshit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Don't listen to the naysayers.
Don't listen to naysayers.
It's hard, but it's really what you got to do.
It's huge. It's huge. Did you hear? Did you go see the movie Gem?
Oh no.
No. Do you know? Have you ever seen the cartoon Gem, Eileen?
No.
No, it was a movie. It was a cartoon in the '80s, and it was a girl rock band.
It was like Hannah Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Okay.
She was somebody, you know, in her normal
By
life,
day.
and then she would become Jam to do her concert performances. She had a boyfriend named Rio. I loved the cartoon when I was young.
It was a big popular cartoon.
Yeah.
I feel like now that you explain that, I feel like I see bursts of colors. Did she have
She had
hair?
like pinkish hair and like a star on her eye.
Okay, yeah,
and
no, I
like,
did.
Yeah, she was
Okay,
like, you know,
I
in a
did see
rock
that.
band. It was
Maybe
like Jam.
Maybe I can pull up the YouTube intro.
She had like played the guitar or
I
something.
do. Yeah, I feel like I had the Barbie.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. Because I think they did come out with Gem Barbies. But the movie did so poorly.
So poorly. After 2 weeks, they pulled it from.
Yeah.
That must be Rio.
Yeah, that's Rio.
Yeah, I totally saw that.
Yeah.
I never watched a cartoon itself.
Never?
Never. I saw this and turned it off.
Oh, man.
Was
Change the
the
channel.
movie cartoon as well?
The
No,
movie
it was
had
real
nothing
people.
to do
Oh, I might have watched that.
with the cartoon.
Nothing. That's why people were outraged.
The director, and he was like, oh, I tried to update it and make it popular and fit in for today.
And it failed miserably. Okay, so Gem is her name.
Yep, Jam.
So in the
Love you,
first
Jam.
in the first week,
Totally want to watch that now.
it made 1.3 million. Right, 1.3 million.
That much?
Yeah, that much.
Wow, that's better than Conan.
No, it's not.
It isn't?
No,
What's
it's not.
Conan make?
I'll pull it up, but it's not better than Conan. In the second week, it made $387,000. So it made a little more money overseas, but those two factors were in the United States. Overall, it made 2.1 million. It was just, dude, it did terrible. They pulled it out after 2 weeks. They said, done with this. What a way! I'm gonna see. Should I see how much they actually spent on making that movie?
Yeah,
Oh
please.
gosh, that's terrible.
Hopefully, people are catching on that you don't take things and do a fucking crappy job. Like, just if you're making a cartoon into a movie, you look at the cartoon, and then you make that cartoon into a movie.
The outline's there.
I don't know. Why is this like fucking rocket science for these people?
It's called Jem. Her name turns out to be Hem.
I would have opened the movie just like that, with that same intro,
Yeah.
only real people. I would have, dude, let me make a cartoon movie. I tell you, I'll do Denver the Last Dinosaur. I'll fucking make it awesome.
Denver the Last Dinosaur. That'd be hilarious.
The
I
Last Dinosaur.
love that thing.
He's my friend and a whole lot more.
I'm trying to find it. I don't know. It's in the top.
Yeah, the IMDb or whatever.
IMDb sucks.
What?
For finding out how much a fucking.
It's right at the bottom. Once you go to it, you just go.
There it is, right there. Let's see where it's
Yeah,
at.
you just go right down, down, down.
Down, down, down. Keep it going.
Box office.
Where?
Right there.
Okay. Oh, okay. A budget of $5 million.
Oh,
So they didn't lose all that much, but that's.
but they lost.
But they lost.
They lost. I mean,
They
usually
lost.
even breaking even is called losing.
Yeah.
So they only made 1.3 million in the United States, and then grossed 2 million.
Nobody was gonna see that.
No.
I didn't even know it was.
Right.
I knew it was coming out, but I paid
I knew it was
zero
coming out,
zero
yeah,
attention
yeah.
to it.
Well, yeah, you
Zero
didn't like the
attention to
cartoon.
Right.
Should have told me about that. I need my popcorn. I need some popcorn.
Alright, the new Conan was 2011, right? Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
2011. Come on, man. You know you saw it in theaters.
Oh yeah, totally.
Don't try to play me. Where's it at? Box office, budget. Oh yeah, it was rough. Budget was $70 million.
Wow.
And opening weekend was 10 million in the US and grossed 21 million worldwide.
21.
Well,
Wow.
grossed 21 million.
Worldwide, huh?
Yeah. So fans, when we say Conan bad,
Yeah.
that's what we mean.
The new Conan.
The new Conan. Arnold Schwarzenegger's the man.
Yeah.
But the new
That
Conan.
Conan is fucking awesome, dude. The old one with Arnold.
I'm super pumped for the new one.
Oh,
with
man.
Schwarzenegger.
They have the new Terminator in the red box, and I've been like, kind of curious.
You gotta go get it.
Dude, everybody at work tells me not. That it's not
Nah,
even worth
it's
it.
too over. You
The new
can't.
Terminator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like, fuck yeah, that was a great Terminator movie.
They said
I'm
it doesn't
telling you
even
that
make
right
sense
now.
that he's there automatically, the old Terminator.
Sure it does.
We
It
saw that
does.
in
It
theaters.
makes they make
Because
it
of the
all
time
make
machine?
sense. They all make it make sense.
Yeah, it
Whether
does.
you want to buy into it or not, and you like it, that's on you. But they do make it all work. It's up to you whether you want to
It's
buy
up
it.
to
It really
you.
is. Some people just hated on it. You know what I mean? I didn't hate on it. I liked it. I didn't think it was some awesome kick-ass Terminator movie. But
Yeah.
I wasn't hating on it throughout the whole movie. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I have my popcorn.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as Anne-Marie has her popcorn and Junior Mint, she's alright.
Junior Mint.
Yeah.
I'm a Junior Mint fan.
No, I don't like mint, period.
I don't know.
Unless it's
Eileen loves mint.
How can you
Toothpaste.
not like a Junior Mint?
toothpaste and gum. That's it. That's all I want.
It's very refreshing.
Okay, did you know Listerine
Okay.
back in the day actually was something that you used to clean your floors?
I did not know that.
And what happened is that Listerine literally created the disease called halitosis, which just meant bad breath.
Okay.
And they marketed their product to fixing bad breath, which by telling it, because at that day and age, nobody thought they had bad breath.
Right.
Right.
It wasn't a thing. But
Right.
nowadays, we're always like, gum, Listerine, everything, you know? But that's been,
I get told on a daily.
dude, advertisements have literally, like, put so many fallacies in our head. But,
Right.
and this is one, is that you always have bad breath, right? And you always got to check out what you got and what's going on, so they can sell you things. And so they created halitosis. They created the idea in advertisements that you have bad breath, so that they could now sell this wood cleaning product as a mouthwash.
Nice.
Isn't that crazy?
That's how they do it, man.
Listerine. Those
Someone told me
fuckers.
to spray
Was that from
Listerine.
corn season? What?
Someone said to spray Listerine, the orange one, on your crops.
That was Manuel. That was my cousin Manuel.
Yeah, and it'll keep the bugs away.
Dude, in India they use Coca-Cola.
We never tried it, did we?
No, we grow organic crops.
We're not spraying Listerine on the crops.
Sorry.
Just put red dye 40 all over my
Yeah, in India they don't drink Coca-Cola. They spray it on crops, and it keeps bugs and everything away, as they use it as a pesticide.
Believe that. It takes
Yeah,
rust off
crazy.
of bumpers, man.
Oh,
and
man.
acid off some battery acid.
I've heard if you put a little piece of meat in there, it'll dissolve the entire thing, but I've never actually tried it.
Heard if you put your penis in it, it'll get rid of syphilis.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't know.
I was about to try that. I'm about to try that right now. Does it work if it's in your mouth?
Maybe. Anheuser-Busch ready to take over Miller products, dude. The merger is in process right now. Take a guess. Take a guess on how much it's going to cost to buy
Miller?
Yes. Take a guess. What you thinking?
$20 billion.
$20 billion. Eileen, what are you thinking?
I was gonna go somewhere in like the 700 million.
700 million? That's what you get? Final answer?
I guess.
Final answer. $107 billion.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
by Miller.
107 billion to buy out Miller, all right, and they will become the first global beer company. The first global beer
Because they
company.
own everything.
Because they will own everything, dude.
So
Everything. They got
that's Miller, right?
That's a Miller.
Anheuser-Busch puts tons of money into the war on drugs and to destroy crops and everything. It's very sad to hear that they have that much money. Think of $100 billion and what it could do for the homeless, for schools, for libraries, just everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that a company has that much money and they want to buy more and control more. And
At least you were in the billions.
yeah.
I can't
Well, I mean, you think of how much Disney bought Lucasfilms
Oh,
for.
yeah. How much was that?
It was in the billions.
Tens of billions or something, right?
I mean, these companies have that money. That's why I knew it had to be in the billions.
It's
I
in
mean,
the
you're
billions.
buying Miller. How much money have they made, you know?
So now would it
Crazy.
be changed to, would their label? Would
They'll
it
still be Miller,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course, because they want the same people coming in. That's the whole thing. That's
They
how you
want
get.
the green.
There's
Nothing's
so-
gonna change except Budweiser's just gonna rake in that
so
money.
fucking incognito about it. You know what I mean? Like they fool everyone because they're like, yeah, it's the same product,
Yeah.
but it's owned by these fucking people that you want nothing to do with. That's why I
Disney's
don't
good.
drink your butt wiper beer.
Ugh,
Or your
God.
fucking
Every once in a
Coors or your
while.
Bush or your whatever.
Every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Bonnaroo. One of our trips to Bonnaroo. That's all they had was fucking Budweiser.
Or Bud Light.
Or Bud Light. So it became a joke being down there, Budweiser.
That's-
Even in
But-
the beer tent?
And that's
Yeah.
all they had. Now you could go to the craft beer tent
Right.
and buy
The
tickets
tickets.
and get
We
yourself
did
a
that a
nice
few
pizza.
times.
Yeah, because that's where it was at. That was where it
Cheetah.
was at. Cheetah.
But the thing is, so Budweiser is so bad, we never drink it. We don't
Right.
like it.
Right.
But it's good every once in a while, like when you're trapped at a festival and it's only
Stuck on a desert island and there's a crate of Budweiser. It's all you're gonna do.
Yeah, and you've been fucking trying to crack
Haven't been
coconuts all
anything
day.
to drink.
Yeah. God, fucking Budweiser. So that's huge. That's crazy.
Yeah, that
That's
is
crazy.
crazy.
I got something fucking funny. Well, not really funny. It's more fucked up. So this couple gets killed in the back of their SUV. So it's not funny at all, really. But they got killed in a parking lot, and turns out these two people were in relationships with someone else, and this person shot them both at equal amount, no, together, total 9 times straight in the head. So they suspect that a, bitter lover,
Right.
tracked them down and
Found
straight murdered them in a parking lot. in some part in Philadelphia, found him at a maintenance guy found him at 2 p.m. Dude,
Any surveillance?
No surveillance. They in the report, not in the report, but in the news article that I read, it said that both a man and a woman were being talked to, but the man was not a person of interest. So it looks like the girlfriend of the dude that was cheating is probably the main suspect. But man, how enraged do you got to be to just let off 9 rounds, cow, a whole clip?
That's the whole thing. Once you do one, the next one becomes easier, and then
The next bullet?
yeah, because you think of it.
So
it's a cathartic experience.
Right.
You're letting out your rage by.
Yes.
And once that first kick, I mean, your adrenaline's pumping.
Oh,
now.
you're-
It's done. You've
Oh,
already
yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
And now you just go with it
Go
and
with
do it until it's out. I mean, you're almost
So,
in a state of shock.
My thing isn't so much the 9 bullets, because I agree with you. Now, once you're in that mode, you're going. That's how people
Yeah.
get stabbed 37
That's how
fucking
cops
times.
unload, in the heat of
Yes.
the moment, just blah 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 blah.
I personally can't conceive killing anybody for someone
No.
cheating on me.
I
I
can't.
love
I can't.
Eileen to death. If
So
she
you
would've
you're killing
cheated on
somebody
me,
for other circumstances.
dude, it would. I could.
Good
You know what I
catch.
mean?
I see
If
what you're saying,
someone-
like defending
someone-
yourself or
Killed someone from my family, I could, but I don't even think I would.
right, you would be go to prison.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I would because my common sense would come over me. I mean, like how enraged, how out of your own state of mind do you have to be? I mean, I can't even imagine that state.
Well, you'd have to imagine how people, like we were talking with the drugs. I mean, certain things affect people in a different way than they affect others, and so.
Some people black out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
And some
Very
people
true.
become so enraged, their conscience isn't there, their
Yeah.
thinking isn't there. It's blind rage.
Out of body experience.
Exactly. And that's why a lot of people suddenly, after the fact, when they're on the stand or being tried, like it's.
Remorse.
They don't remember
it's
sometimes.
dawning on,
too.
yeah, it's dawning on them like what they actually did because the heat of the moment. Of
Yeah.
it all.
That's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, and that was what, Philadelphia, huh?
Philly.
Home of Rocky.
Philadelphia. Let's do some verses, dude.
Okay.
Oh shit, where am I?
I'm doing my verses.
Alright. I got one.
Okay.
The Munchkins from Wizard of Oz
Okay.
versus the Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory. So it's a gang fight.
I feel like the Lollipop Kids are the only tough people, like the Munchkins, and I just don't know if they'd be able to fight all of the Oompa Loompas. So I'm going Oompa Loompas.
Okay, alright.
The Munchkins
Uh-huh.
or the Oompa Loompas?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Munchkins because they've lived in Munchkin land with the Wicked Witch coming in.
Right. They did run just like scared into bushes.
Yeah.
But not from Oompa Loompas.
Right.
They ran from the Wicked Witch.
True that.
Which-
So they're
which
smart
is super,
enough.
Yeah.
which she has magical powers.
True that.
Oompa Loompas.
The Oompa Loompas never had, I don't know, I don't think they've ever had an enemy.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I think in the Johnny Depp version, it's like, oh, they were endangered.
Right.
But I don't think that there was like
They
there
both
was
could
some-
bust out some serious tunes.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, they're both somewhat of slave workers.
Yeah.
I can see
When it
that.
comes
Yeah.
down to it. It's-
Yeah.
I mean, I think
So they've got their share of blisters.
Yeah, so they are hard workers.
True. Strong.
Yeah. And I think Oompa Loompas are supposed to be smaller than
Think?
Munchkins too.
I think I'm gonna go Oompa Loompas. Because I think they'd be more organized. I think
They
they
use each other.
communicate, they work in factories, they know each other, they see each other every day, all working together. I think the Oompa Loompas take them.
It's a tight community.
Tight community.
And I think the Munchkins, like, even though they're there, I don't know if everybody gets really along together enough to, like, suddenly go to battle.
Or let's just say they get along so good that it's just such a peaceful, harmonious area. The Oompa Loompas work in a fucking factory every day for all their lives. So it's not like they're out in the sunshine. They're inside a building with this wacky frickin' dude that's fucking dictating what they do every day.
Yeah. So.
Pulling levers.
Yeah.
Well, you know, but they would both. Well, they would carry a good tune. They would both carry a good tune, so it would be a good soundtrack.
It would be the greatest soundtrack to a battle ever. Ever.
Going on that, the Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
The Cowardly Lion versus E.T.
Versus E.T.? Okay, alright. Guest, Eileen. Choices.
Gosh, I think they're both weenies.
So,
They're both weenies. I'm gonna go with the Cowardly Lion because when I picture E.T. running, it's not stable or fast.
Yeah.
I think the Cowardly Lion could get some. Put him on. How long you freshen that can? Oh, that was the funniest joke in the whole movie.
I'm gonna have to go with you on that. I think they're both sissies, but he's a coward. He's a lion. He's just gotta hit him once. It's over. And I don't know, A.T. got any powers? He's got like a glowing finger.
yeah, it's a glowing finger.
That does what?
Brings plants
Falls
back to
on.
life.
It heals wounds.
It does heal wounds.
Drew Barrymore suddenly appears every time.
Yeah.
With her 12-year-old coke addiction.
Oh. Cowardly Lion takes it. Mary Poppins versus Maria from Sound of Music.
Oh, that's a fun one.
I've never seen Sound of Music.
No, do you know the premise of Sound of Music?
It's like World War II, isn't it? And
So Maria was
You've got to see that.
trying to be a nun, and this
the
family that the mother died, it's a children of 7. The dad's like a naval officer and needs help, so she's
a Fraulein.
What's that mean?
No, she's a governess.
nanny.
She's a governess.
Fraulein Maria?
Yeah, Fraulein. I think it's Fraulein just means lady.
Fraulein.
Is she a badass? That's all I need to
So
know.
she helps the family escape the Nazis.
Okay, so helping someone escape isn't fighting though.
No, she didn't fight nobody in the movie. Nearly
Who's
Mary
Mary Poppins
Poppins.
fight?
Mary Poppins has magic, first of all.
Right, she flies with her freaking umbrella.
And she can make things pick up themselves and put them away.
It's true telekinetic powers.
Right, and song. She can take you to a cartoon world.
Sound of Music has like the best soundtrack.
You guys.
Better than Singing in the Rain.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, it is better.
Believe that.
Well, I'm going with, as much as I prefer Sound of Music, and that was in the play.
Okay.
I have to go with Mary Poppins because all I can picture is her umbrella. Just like, or
so
flying away with it.
and then coming in with like a fucking swoop kick, like using her
Oh,
umbrella,
yeah.
like just swooping in,
Yeah.
doing like a fucking Frankenstein or something. Mary Poppins whoops her ass.
I think so. Damn.
I have a
Alright.
versus.
You have a versus?
I do.
You do?
I have
What?
my notes.
This is the very first
First.
celebrity versus. You are a
Yeah.
celebrity because you're the guest.
Yes.
And this is a celebrity.
Oh, okay.
I have John Travolta, big John Travolta fan,
Awesome.
in Saturday Night Fever,
Oh, okay.
or John Travolta in Grease.
Fighting one another.
Yes.
Ooh.
Grease takes them.
Grease takes.
Oh yeah, Grease takes them all day. You don't fuck with a disco guy. Doesn't fuck with a greaser. A greaser would wipe the floor with a disco
But
guy.
this greaser became like a track running star at the end. Like he was went preppy.
This disco guy cried because his buddy died, like a little bitch.
Man, that's true.
And plus, John Travolta has better dance moves in Grease than he does in Saturday Night Fever.
Fact.
I think.
I would agree with you on that. Greaser takes it.
Yeah, I have to go with Grease.
Yeah, you Unanimous.
Totally. Okay, you guys watch Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Because I've been dying.
We're not current on the new season.
But you know who the governor is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the governor from
Right.
Walking Dead
Yep.
versus the Joker
Of
from
what?
Batman.
Which Batman?
Which Batman?
Joker period. The character
Really?
itself.
Okay. The psychotic, crazy Joker.
Joker.
Why?
Unpredictable.
You don't feel the governor is?
I do, but I don't feel as threatened. Like if I was in a,
Like
in a
there's still
neighborhood
that- yeah.
locked with
I
the
would-
governor,
I would be
I wouldn't
more-
be as scared as
I would be
the
more
governor.
scared of the Joker. Joker's all dressed up, makeup, all the whole bit, fucking laughing like a fucking hyena.
Because the governor, you feel like there's like still that like piece of humanity inside of him.
Yeah, the thing with
Looks
that
like
though
it
is
for
the
it.
governor is way more methodical.
And I think the patch on his eye and everything too kind of makes him look very sinister.
Yeah.
Kind of like
It does. It
like
does.
a tyrant. Untrustworthy.
Everybody don't
tyrant.
trust the pirates. Nobody trusts them.
And just sitting in that room with the heads.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, he's
Yeah.
almost maybe having the same mindset as the
As
Joker.
the Joker.
I kind of picture.
But he does still have his humanity, because even when he leaves and gets with that second group and stuff, he wants to do good and then ends up going back and
oh,
doing
that's
bad
true with
and
his
shit.
beard. The beard days.
Yeah, yeah.
So like he still wants to be a good guy in a sense, but then gets trapped in this whatever mindset he has. Joker's just a fucking madman lunatic non-stop.
Yeah, I think the Joker lives to plot, and I think as long as everything goes okay with the governor, he's okay.
I think the Joker in a zombie apocalyptic world does awesome.
You think he would survive?
I think he gets a band of crazy freaking people together and they just consume non-stop.
I just picture
take
the
people out.
Joker being eaten, and the entire time while zombies are ripping him apart, he's just laughing.
Well, if he were to get attacked, yeah. But
Chill
I
out.
think he could build some kind of chaotic, crazy world.
A bunch of
in
people
a-
dressed up in his little clown like
Dude.
outfits, you know, like his little
Yeah.
crew.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, I like that too. That would be cool to see.
I'll go with Joker.
Yeah, I think.
It'd be a great battle, but I think Joker. Wait, let me
I
ask you this
personally
though. Is this
think-
one-on-one or is this a governor
Yeah, this is
battalion with
one
Joker
on one.
battalion?
I just I think the Joker is weaker than the governor. I've never
Okay.
seen the Joker actually be buff or strong.
Totally.
And it seemed like the governor at least had some strength in his
It's a
side.
good call. It's a good call because the Joker can't fight for the most part. I
Right,
mean, he can
yeah.
lay out a punch or something, but like,
He
If
usually
you
has
don't-
the other people
there
fight.
you go.
Right, or like tries to use a weapon and hit you, or which the governor has a weapon too.
It's a
you
good
know?
call. I was thinking not so much one-on-one. I guess if you got to go one-on-one, the governor probably would take it.
You think so?
Yeah, now you think about it, when it's one-on-one, I'm thinking more of like the nostalgic fucking
Like
Joker.
the group of
and the-
governor
yeah,
fighting a group of Joker guys.
that's
and-
kind of like, yeah. That's when you think of the Joker, that's kind of what you think.
Yeah, because
you
you
know?
don't really picture him as a fighter.
You know. So yeah, I guess the governor for me. That's my choice.
It's locked in.
Locked in. Done deal.
Do you have any more?
Oh, that's
I-
not
I-
too versatile.
I got a bunch.
Do
How
you
about
really?
Bill and Ted versus Beavis and Butthead?
I feel
Oh,
stupider trying to think of it.
Oh my god.
Stupider. I feel more dumb.
Stupid was the right word.
Is it? Is
Yeah,
that
no,
a
it's
word?
not actually a word, but for
Okay,
this
yeah,
one.
for this one. Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead.
Why?
They're violent. Bill and Ted ain't violent.
No, okay.
They're like surfer dudes,
Okay,
you know, want to
yeah.
lay on the beach and like smoke weed.
Well,
Like
they're rocker guys.
they're rockers,
Wild
but
stallions.
dude, they're smoking weed, like hanging out. They're not doing nothing besides just watching the beach.
But I mean, Beavis and Butthead are just hanging out. Sitting
Beavis and
on the
Butthead, look, they remind me like they're coming from a trailer park. They got like hardcore like meth maybe around them or something. Fucking with each other hard, dude.
I say Beavis and Butthead. Just because,
Yeah.
they're more like violent.
That's a good one. I like that
I
one.
did do it literally, man. I'd sit here and I'd
You've
try
been
to
sitting
think
on
of
that for a
these.
little
No,
bit?
I busted like a whole list of these out one
Oh,
day.
that's
Just like
good.
sat and thought. Wolverine
Okay.
versus a T-1000.
Wolverine that can't technically be killed.
Because ever since my Samurai versus a T-1000 went completely up in flames.
Up in flames.
Especially when Emery was like, well, that's future metal.
Yeah.
That's made to... And samurai swords are made to cut humans.
That was way up.
Well, now we have kind of
I
two
hear ya.
futuristic steels.
Right.
We have two people that pretty much are agile. They're coming one-on-one, right at one another. They're sharp
Adamantium
weapons.
is going to slice through liquid metal.
You think so?
I think so. I think adamantium is going to slice through T-1000's metal. Obviously, it's going to come right back, so that's a battle in itself. T-1000 probably moves slower than Wolverine.
Yeah.
Wolverine's probably way more agile.
You don't think the T-1000 can jump around? Or like,
I'm sure he can. I'm just saying, I think
he could even
Wolverine
like melt down and like come back.
is more agile. I think they're both very agile, but Wolverine is for sure more agile. I think the T-1000 more relies on his liquid metal abilities, where he can stand there and not have to move so much because you can't fuck him up.
Yeah.
He's not running from bullets. He's not running from a fucking knife attack or something because he doesn't get injured like that. The problem is, if it's a battle to the death, Wolverine can't do shit.
Yeah, because the T-1000 is like almost indestructible. You have to like lure him into the right environment and like freeze it or
They
something.
had to take him to a steel mill and drop him into fucking molten iron.
Which, yeah.
I'm going with the T-1000.
Oh man.
It's really hard to beat a T-1000. It becomes,
It's really
as we put more, I mean, this is second one, but putting other characters
You know
against
what,
T-1000,
You
it
should
becomes
put
less
Bruce
believable.
Lee against T-1000. Just a fucking
But, no,
Bruce Lee with the one line.
No, I know. That's what I'm
Bruce Lee-
saying.
Bruce Lee is a loser.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying, like, it
It's
becomes
tough.
more and more unbelievable that the T-800
1000.
or 600
Oh.
whatever would even be able to beat him.
Right.
Like the
Yeah.
T-1000 is so indestructible. Like a samurai couldn't beat him. Wolverine couldn't beat him. Like try and think of somebody. It becomes more and more unbelievable in T2 that they even beat this fucking thing.
Watch Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say. That's it.
Watch G.
I think T-1000 wins.
It's an, oh no,
I think
Falcon.
T-1000 wins.
You think T-1000 wins?
I'm
that
a
one,
huge
yeah?
Wolverine fan. I would love to see him win. If you put in the fucking steel mill, the battling in a steel mill, then I'd say Wolverine. But it's a rough one.
Fred Flintstone versus Homer Simpson.
Fred Flintstone.
Why?
Why? He's a fucking caveman. The cartoon, he's fucking works in a quarry.
He drives with his feet.
He drives with his gigantic feet.
Shit.
Homer Simpson's a gelatinous blob of a man.
Well, remember that episode where he fights the second dad or whatever?
Yeah.
At the bar? I mean, that's
He can take a punishment.
Yeah. He's a boxer.
He takes some punishment, for
Yeah.
sure. Over and over again throughout his whole life. But Fred Flintstone, I think. I'm speaking out of turn because our guest is supposed to go first.
Right. But
Well, if the prize is like food, I'd go with Homer. But I think Fred Flintstone. Because, yeah, he's a caveman. And then I see Homer just sitting on a couch, just not wanting to get up. He doesn't even want to strangle Bart or something.
yeah.
You can't even strangle Bart no more.
Oh, why?
Child abuse.
Is it?
When was the last time you seen Homer strangle Bart?
I don't know. I watched old episodes, so I still.
Are there
see
new
them.
episodes?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Still
Jeez.
going.
Oh
Still
my
going.
gosh. Good thing their characters don't age.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rogue,
Rogue from.
X-Men.
Do you know Rogue? Eileen?
No.
Okay.
Rogue pretty much has Superman's powers. She held on to Captain Marvel, or Miss Marvel rather, for so long that she absorbed her powers, because that's her power, is that when her mutant power is she touches people and absorbs their powers and uses them for a limited time. Well, she held on for way too long to Miss Marvel, who is pretty much like Superman.
With strength and flying.
Yeah, not the laser eyes,
not laser eyes and breath and stuff
but
like
strength and flight. And she held on to her for so long that she put Miss Marvel into a coma and had her powers. I mean, still to this day, that's who she is now.
Right.
So she has the power of sucking other people's powers, and she has pretty much the powers of Superman, strength and flight.
Mm-hmm.
So Rogue versus Supergirl.
Ooh, that is good. So the Supergirl, she has all of Superman's powers, right?
I believe she has the vision, she
Right.
has the
Eyes.
laser eyes, she has, whatever else.
But her show is failing.
But it's failed. And the X-Men movies are failing.
Tragic disappointments.
I'm gonna say this Rogue chick.
Takes it.
Sounds like a badass.
She is pretty badass.
She really is.
And
Not in the movies though.
Not
Yeah.
in the movies. God, is she so
But in the
freaking
animated
good.
series and in the
Ugh.
comics, she is one fucking extreme force.
I'm gonna go with Rogue as well.
You are?
Supergirl probably has more powers, but I think Rogue is just that much more of a badass.
What do you see like the fight ending up being, and how is it finished?
Dude, I think it's a pummeling match. I think they just slam each other into stuff until someone can't tolerate no more. And I think Rogue just is a better skilled fighter. First off, she's an X-Men, and they train to fight all kinds of different power entities out there. As a group, yes, but they also train themselves. And Supergirl, like Superman, in my opinion, just relies on their natural born abilities to just get them by.
Right. And strength from the sun.
Right.
From
Right.
an
But they're not
age.
training on a daily
Yeah, that's true. It's
to
kinda-
hone in
Right.
their skills and make them better.
It's kind of just been brought upon.
That's just what they
naturally,
do,
yeah.
you
what
know.
does Rogue wear?
A tight leotard.
Like a
It's like
bodysuit?
Yeah,
yellow
bodysuit.
and green, but then she has like a jacket that goes over sometimes
Like a
with like
cape or a
yellow
jacket?
gloves
It's a
because she's
cape, it's a
not.
leather brown jacket,
Yeah.
but it's short sleeve and short up.
And then she
to
has
her
to wear
waist.
the gloves because she can't touch anybody
Touch
without
anybody.
absorbing their power.
And
So
boots?
And she has red hair with a.
it was brownish.
A streak?
Is it red? Oh,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
like-
brownish
it's like-
with a
yeah.
white streak.
Yeah, like gray in the middle from the stress because she's from the south. Her parents disowned her, so that's where she joined Xavier's school for mutants because she kissed her first boyfriend and put him in a coma because she didn't know that she had a mutant power, and so it freaked her parents out, and they wanted to get rid of her, and that's when Professor Xavier like steps in and goes,
Well, I like her outfit better too, so I'm gonna
Then
stick with her.
Then
Then
the blue
Supergirl.
and red and yellow.
Yeah, I mean I like it, but white boots, streak in the hair.
Yeah, she does have it going on.
That sounds fun.
She definitely has it going on.
More Mexican colors, so her green and white.
Yeah. Did you have any what ifs or?
I got a what is, but I wanted to bring up something with the times of seasons and donations and stuff, man. These companies out there.
Yes. It's getting to be that time where they ask you to donate to charities.
Yeah, you sent me from YouTube that Adam
ruins everything.
everything,
Yeah, that show is
and
amazing.
they talk about this guy that runs a company where you buy a pair of shoes, and he donates a pair of shoes to some African child in Africa. And in this video, he talks about how you're actually hindering their progress by giving them a pair of shoes, and it sounds ridiculous, but when he goes into explaining it, when that actually happened, shoe companies out there, small business shoe companies making it, had closed down because everyone's now getting shoes for free.
So it actually shuts down the local businesses of the shoemakers because they don't need shoes. And what he also discusses like the poverty porn that we always see, where it's like the most unfed, you know,
desolate areas, and villages,
where Africa isn't like that all over, but they specifically go there to try and get at your conscience, because that's what all of these donations try to do. All these charities, they try and get at your conscience, and especially around the holiday season, everybody's in a good spirit, everybody's happy, they want to do well, they want to do good for others. And I mean, what really gets me is the fast food companies that are like, all of a sudden they want $1, or do you want to donate?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm ordering food here.
Yeah, we got something at Dunkin' Donuts asked this
Yeah.
morning.
I you know what? And I don't. Okay. I used to donate to St. Jude's all the time when I went to Kmart. Every time, $5. It was not a question. I'm going to give you $1 or $5, something, until I was informed. I think you told me, because this was
I told you.
Eileen told me.
Not all of that.
That it doesn't all go to fucking St. Jude. That
course
like
not.
Kmart keeps a fucking large portion.
Yeah, then
right?
St. Jude's, you know, the people running that take some, and then they drop it
Yeah,
down to
and these
whoever.
companies. So like, I feel bad by not donating in a sense, because
They
want
make you
to.
feel bad. That's what pisses me off.
They hate
When
the people who do.
Yeah, and the people that are working there, when you go, no thank you, they look like they have this judgmental like view of you, that you're a piece of shit, that you didn't donate. But if you turn around and ask that person, do you even know what the percentage of my donation goes to it? Yeah. Oh, it's all of it.
Yeah.
It's like no company runs like that.
No.
In the history of company.
No.
Nobody. They have to pay employees.
Right.
And it's, God, it drives me crazy. And that's with the canned goods too.
Right.
Is that you donate these canned goods, usually people...
It's a food drives, right?
The food drives, you empty out the closet or your covers, and what are you grabbing? The stuff that you don't want to eat.
Beets.
And now you're giving it to the homeless, right? Or the people that need it.
Yeah.
And then you also, you know, you're actually hurting things, because they have to pay these people to sort through cans.
Yeah.
They have to pay these people that are going to ship the cans. And a lot of the cans are no good to begin with, because you gave them fucking...
Expired cans.
Yeah.
And then what's bad about cans food is high in sodium. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
They say in this video that the best thing you can do is just donate money to that organization.
Because they buy food at whole price.
They're going to buy fresh food for these people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same thing like St. Jude's. Like, I donate money. I should just go onto their website and donate $5. So it just goes to them, right? Or whatever. I mean, like, even with the shoes thing, going back to the shoe thing, the company, it takes $4 to buy these shoes, to make these shoes. So you buy a pair of shoes, that's $4 on them. They give a pair of shoes, that's $4. It's $8 out of their pocket, but the shoes cost $60.
That's
so
what you donate. You give them $60.
You give them $60.
They make shoes for $4.
You get one shoe, they get the other pair, and they made 50 freaking yeah.
The dude
They're masking a very profitable company under the notion of giving back to the community.
Right. Which no charity opens up. Here's the thing. Especially
breast cancer is the worst one in my mind.
Oh, breast cancer awareness.
The big pink
ribbon. That was
Susan G. Anthony,
billionaire created it. It
Yeah.
wasn't out of people protesting or wanting answers. But then what do they do with the pink ribbon? They slap it on the same things that might be giving women cancer. Makeup.
Right.
Bad food. Whatever. It's all this merchandise that is
deodorant everywhere.
And it hits you though. It hits you, especially if it's
because you're a
someone
good
passed
human
away
being
in your life.
Yes.
And that's what it is, and that's what's so sickening about these charities that are for profit, because most of them are,
both,
if not damn near 99.9% of them. Because why would you even start a business? Because that's what they are, without any kind of profit. 100% charity is called volunteering.
Yeah.
I think one of the best that do it is Salvation Army. The people with the buckets and bells.
Yeah.
I think what they do a really good job.
They do. Goodwill.
You gotta Goodwill is terrible.
They don't donate anything.
Nothing. Zero.
Nothing back.
Goodwill
And then when you check out there, they say, I go there often. They say, do you want to round it up
Right. Oh,
to,
yes.
Yeah,
to
the
support
roundup.
our mission.
Right, the
Yes.
roundup.
But they're not donating shit to nothing.
Your mission.
Yeah, what's
Round
your
it up to
fucking
my
mission?
pocket.
To
Yeah.
just keep paying your employees.
You know, we should ask them next time they do that. You should, okay, how about I just round it down and I just come back?
Yeah. How
Because
about
you're not donating shit to nobody.
They put those donation. I think there's a shoe one and there's a
Yeah,
glasses one
You know?
out in their parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the glasses one's for the Lions Club, I think, or the Lions, whatever. I don't know what they donate glasses for the.
Which the Lions Club has been around forever,
Forever.
and I've never understood what the fuck they do.
Me
I'm
either.
not
I don't
sure.
know.
They've been
They're
around
very-
with their shit ass candy
Yeah.
and their fucking glasses drop offs. I've never seen or heard of anybody going, the Lions Club helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I think they're very small time. I don't know what they do.
I think they don't
put
do
little-
shit. I think they melt down them glasses and they probably pawn them in and whatever they can
Get their
from
beer
it.
money?
Whatever.
I think
I'll take that back though. They do. They run. No, we pay for that. I was gonna say. Unfortunately, a lie. They got turtle races up in town, and the Lions Club bakes all the pancakes. But you pay for the fucking pancakes. They're not like
Yeah.
they're not running the. Hey, here's charitable pancakes. We're
Yeah.
coming in.
That's
I
the whole
think
thing,
they just
yeah.
have like a building too that they host. I think one of the for the Phoenix, this little girl
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
I worked.
She had cancer,
Yeah, she had leukemia.
leukemia.
That they would hold fundraisers
Yeah.
for that family, but the dad was in the Lions Club, so I think it's like
So is
a
it like
small
a-
time thing, like a really small.
Like a smaller version of being a Mason, like you get in this club and you probably got to pay donations or a
Yeah,
membership fee,
Yeah.
and you get to use their organizations.
Yeah, it definitely seems
Like the
something like
moose
that.
and
Like it's
stuff?
The Moose
I just want to
Lodge.
play bingo.
Or what are those guys called that wear the little hats and drive the little cars?
Shit.
I always forget their names, but yeah, that's like some kind of club too,
Starts with an S.
Shriners.
Shriners. Yeah, the Shriners. So the thing is, you just gotta watch
But
what
what-
you're donating your money to. Make
but-
sure your money's going where you want it to go.
How else? How else can people fight their conscience because it's so well done. They put you on the spot. They already know you're checking out.
Yeah.
They get you right. I mean, everything is done for
And what's
a
a
reason.
dollar?
It's sickening.
What's a
What's
dollar?
I think you just have to get over the hump of the first couple no's.
Yeah, you do.
Because that was what it was for me. Like, I wanted to give $1. And sometimes I would, and sometimes I still want to.
Right.
Because I like to fill out the little form with someone else's name on it.
Dairy
Right,
Queen,
Ron
little
Jeremy.
shoes.
I
Jeremy.
like to put someone
Special
else's
K.
name.
Yeah.
I feel like I did something in their name that was good.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's the selling point too. You could make the donation in someone else's name too, and then you're gonna write it down.
Right.
Like
But that's the whole
you
thing.
need a list of all
Yeah,
of
those
these
things
people.
go up and then they
You just killed a tree.
throw them away. Yeah.
All the paper you just
Yeah,
wasted or something. But you get over that first hump of saying no,
Yeah.
and then I think it all becomes easier after that.
I also
just
think people being more aware, like the people that might listen to this
Yeah.
and not know,
Yeah.
that it does all go.
Because that's what it was for me. I was like, I'm donating. I'm doing the good deed. This is an awesome setup.
Yeah.
And then once I got informed, I was like, well, fuck all you people, man. I'm not doing this
When
shit
our
no
bank
more.
accounts joined, and I'm like, why are you giving
Yeah.
them money?
Yeah.
No.
Totally. Totally.
It's a fact.
And that's a thing. You just all of these charities, and whenever do you hear some kind of buzz about them doing anything? Or somebody being so grateful. Or unless it's publicized by McDonald's and they're like, Ronald, the McDonald's whatever charity, they
Yeah.
did this, and it's McDonald's advertising it. Of course they're gonna
Right.
Oh,
make
yeah.
it look great.
Mhm.
But I've just never heard of any of these charities that they talk about at these fast food, at Kmart, at any of these that I'm supposed to be paying into, like, and they don't even know the percentage of the money that I'm giving
Given to,
that's
yeah.
going to.
Well,
It's such a scam.
it is a scam. The thing is, though, is like with those companies, you could just go if when you leave McDonald's, just remember to donate if you really want to donate. Just go online and donate $1 to that organization. I mean, it's that simple if you really wanted to donate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't give McDonald's the money. Don't give Kmart the money. Don't give Walmart the money. If you really want to donate, just go on your own self and just online and
It just
fucking $5. I've never done it, so I'm speaking not as someone that does it.
We've donated before to the Beehive organization.
We definitely want to, dude. Have you seen these freaking beehives?
Flow hives.
They're called flow hives, right?
You should donate. Where am I?
Right there.
Flow
Right
hives.
there.
Donate.
Actually,
Flow
it might be done already. I don't know. So
Shit.
this thing's called a flow hive, right? So you know the typical beehive where people that are beekeepers, they're box hives, right? Where they actually have
Wooden
things.
box.
Yeah.
So this hive is a synthetic hive, and it's in a box, just like normal. But the thing is, it's basically on tap. So you have inside the box slots, right? And inside there, I'm not sure what the material is, but there's honeycomb setups already. So the bees don't have to make the wax per se. They just go in there and put the nectar in and fill it, right?
Right.
And then when you tap it, it shifts the honeycombs and breaks them. And the honey just drains down through the tap and into a jar. And then you turn it and it freaking locks it back in place. So you get, it's awesome, awesome. It's supposed to be very friendly to the bees. You get all this honey with half the freaking
See, but that's not charity. That's funding an organization.
It's funding. It's not
a movement.
It's
or
not.
a,
It's not. It's
or
not.
a patent idea. Or
But if you want to look at it as funding, trying to help bees,
I'm serious,
which is a huge
like
conservation issue right now.
Thank you for doing that. Literally, because I mean that's what you need to do. You need to donate to something that's actually real,
Right?
Like a movement or something. Because, like I said, like how much money have these charities been paid? How many homeless are still out there?
Oh yeah.
How many people are still starving? How many orphan children?
Sickening.
What is being accomplished, and especially with the third world, which I love the buy one get one shoes, because it actually shows a realistic African who's saying like, look, shoes isn't what we need.
Right.
We're worried
electricity.
about electricity, malaria.
Yeah.
Like, we're worried about like certain real things.
You know, malaria is the #1 killer in the entire world. Mosquitoes.
Wow.
The spread of malaria through mosquitoes is the number one killer in the world. In the world.
Wow.
We don't give a fuck because we don't get fucking malaria over here. But people are dying from malaria non-stop at crazy rates. Crazy, especially in Africa.
Yeah.
Crazy rates.
But they got shoes.
They got shoes.
They got
And they
$60
get
shoes.
and free clothes.
They got $4
We should
shoes.
send them some bug spray.
Yeah.
You know, Ebola came to the States and we all freaked out, right?
Yeah.
You know, a very
There's like
small
3
amount of
cases
people
or
that
something.
got it.
Right.
Ebola is just knocking people out over there. And as soon as we got clear of Ebola, you just forget about Ebola.
Yeah,
Forget about Ebola.
Yeah.
But we'll spend trillions of dollars going fighting bullshit wars.
Well, and that's the whole thing about that really upsets me about these charities and about this time of year. Not to mention that on Facebook soon it's going to be, it's Merry Christmas, not Happy Holidays.
Oh, God.
Happy Holidays simply means that more than just you, there's more holidays in this area, in this time of year than Christmas. And people celebrate many different holidays. And to be accepting and nice to the people that live within this country and not leave them out like we've done for so many fucking years, you say Happy Holidays.
Right.
Because why would I say Merry Christmas to someone that's Jewish? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
And I would find that rude and offensive. Oh, but people are just so sensitive. And no, we're learning to respect other cultures that live within this country because we have plenty of different cultures. and people that want to celebrate their culture and should be allowed to. And that just drives me crazy. The fucking, it's Merry Christmas, not Happy Holidays. It's Happy Holidays. You can celebrate Christmas, but there's no need for everyone
It's
to
Happy
hear
Holidays, but you can still say Merry Christmas if you want to.
I say Merry Christmas,
Yeah.
but I don't say Merry Christmas
But if I work,
upon greeting
right,
someone.
but if I work at a grocery
Right.
store, right,
Okay.
and I'm checking people out, I'm not going to say Merry Christmas to every customer I have. That would be rude. It would be rude.
Now, let's
Now,
say
if I said Happy Holidays, it clears it to where no matter what you celebrate, I'm saying Happy Holidays. So Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas,
Right.
whatever it is,
yeah.
I'm saying Happy Holidays. Enjoy your holiday.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying Merry Christmas to everyone.
I hear you. And you're saying that as you're a worker having to deal with the public,
the policies.
right? So okay, Happy Holidays is absolutely probably what you should be saying in that environment. But me walking around as my own self, if I want to say, hey, Merry Christmas, I don't know you. I don't know if you're Jewish. I don't mean to offend you, but it's Christmas to me. So if I say Merry Christmas and you're like, oh, I'm Jewish, I'm like, oh, my bad, man. You know, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever. You know, I don't think someone should take offense to me saying Merry Christmas.
Right.
Just me being me.
But you just yelling Merry Christmas to someone seems far-fetched. Unless that's what you do, you just walk down the street and you say, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
There's a lot of people that do that.
Right, and they're baby boomers. They're people still stuck in an age where there wasn't diversity. It was majority rules. This is how it is. And if you celebrate something differently,
Isn't it
we
nice
put
though?
you in
Don't you think it's nice that like you could walk around and be saying, even if it's just Happy Holidays?
Happy Holidays. What's wrong with saying Happy Holidays? Because
There's
it leaves it
nothing
open
wrong.
for everyone.
There's nothing wrong with saying Happy Holidays. But what's wrong with you that celebrates Merry Christmas, going around saying Merry Christmas to people?
Yeah.
I don't.
It's-
But that kind of logic is what we're trying to get away from.
But if
because
you're
there
not,
is
but if you're not against them celebrating their holiday, then what's wrong with saying Merry Christmas?
Yeah, you celebrate
because
your
you're
holiday.
celebrating your holiday. I can say Merry Christmas to you, and you can say Happy Hanukkah, and I can be like, yeah, I just made a new friend.
Yeah, let's just say you're going to a restaurant
you don't
and you're
care
picking up
either.
takeout, right? And you fucking pick up your food and you just say fucking, all right, Merry Christmas, and you're out of there. You know, I mean, I know where
it's
you're coming
tradition.
from. I know
It's
what you're
tradition,
saying,
and
bro.
it's a routine that we've been caught in.
But it's also
What if I'm an atheist and you tell me Merry Christmas?
then it's your right to just say, you don't gotta be a dick about it.
But you didn't have to say that to begin with. You could have just said Happy Holidays.
But if you're an atheist, you might still be offended by that. What makes them think I'm celebrating a holiday? So I think everything is offensive.
It's a holiday season. That's the point. It's right now it's festive. There's Thanksgiving. There's Kwanzaa, there's Hanukkah, there's Christmas, there's all these others that I can't even remember because there's so many actually. But it's a holiday time of year.
You're right. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but the thing is, I don't personally want to lose what I might find as my like beliefs. Okay, I believe in Merry Christmas. Let's just say that, right? So that's like by just going and saying we all need to do just say Happy Holidays and become one. It's not a bad notion, but the thing is why do I have to lose myself?
Why do you need to take away
But
something
why
I
do you
like?
feel like there's an urge that you're losing yourself?
It's my belief. It's me. You know, it's
But
like
it's your
it's
ego.
like
It's your ego.
It's not my ego.
It
It's
is.
like saying we're all Americans, right? We're all citizens of the United States. I'm no longer a Mexican. I can't claim myself as Latin. You can't claim yourself as Irish. Never, ever again. Because that's offensive. We are Americans. We are United States citizens. And to do that is wrong. Now, Mexican parades, you know, Cinco de Mayo, that's gone. You know, any kind of Irish holiday, St. Patrick's, I don't know if St. Patrick's is an Irish holiday, but we associate, okay,
They don't give
that's
praise.
gone. You know what I mean? Because we are United States citizens. We are Americans. We only celebrate 4th of July. That's it. No.
What you're doing is an extreme. Your heritage has nothing to do with tradition of holidays.
When
Nothing.
I think of Christmas, I think of, like when I think of Merry Christmas, the term Merry Christmas, I think of eggnog with my family, presents, Christmas songs, decorating a Christmas tree, going out and making snowmen. That's what I think when I say Merry Christmas. So to take that away from me would be taking a memory, a happiness, something that I love away. Not my ego, but just something that was a part of my growing up, of what made me who I am. And I think to take it away and think that because someone's going to be offended by Merry Christmas would be like me not letting them say Happy Hanukkah. You know, my girlfriend's Jewish, and we worked at a Catholic, a Christian organization together, and we were allowed to say Merry Christmas because it's a Christian organization. But they also let her celebrate in her classroom her Hanukkah and the 12 days and all that stuff. And so I brought her into my classroom, and she did stuff because I didn't know anything about it to incorporate into it with that, so they can get like the diversity. So it's sad. I don't think it's right that people can put it's not Happy Holidays, it's Merry Christmas, because that's just stopping those people who want to say Happy Holidays from stopping saying that, and you don't want to be stopped from saying Merry Christmas. So why are we stopping anybody from saying anything?
Right. I agree with you on that. And I don't think someone now, like in a business standpoint, it should be Happy Holidays.
Right, or with our government.
On your business.
With your government official.
And to each their own when it comes to the public. Yeah. But as a majority, we're going to have to sooner or later realize that as just being respectful. It's not being sensitive or offensive. It's respecting the people that are in our country. It's respecting the diverse people that are in our country and the many beliefs that are in our country and the many holidays that are celebrated. And by doing that, we can simply say, Happy Holidays. And it's not taking away from your Merry Christmas. That's not taking away from your religious beliefs. It's not taking away from your lifestyle. It's simply showing respect to everyone within our country that's a diverse amount of people that celebrate many different holidays.
But then you're disrespecting the ones who want to hear Merry Christmas too. So like it's a lose-lose situation. I think there's a huge portion who celebrate Christmas, and then there's a huge portion that don't. So I think by taking it away, you're going to offend as many people as you're offending saying it. I think it goes in a circle.
I think it's becoming too sensitive. I think this is an issue where you're becoming too sensitive, or people are becoming too sensitive to the Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkahs or Happy Kwanzaa. I think it's becoming too sensitive where I'm not trying to offend you by saying Merry Christmas. I say Merry Christmas because that's what I've just been saying. And I don't know if you're Jewish or whatever else, or what you believe in. If I don't know, man. I just.
But like you said, he's not walking around going Merry Christmas.
I'm not screaming to the top.
And especially just because it's what you've said doesn't mean that it's written in stone.
Correct.
Tradition shouldn't write
dictate
the laws
the
or
law.
dictate how generation after generation is going to live their life. Mm-hmm. And we know that there are diverse people here, and we know that there are diverse holidays. And I completely understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put a wreath on my door. I want to put my tree up. Sure, all pagan things. It comes from pagan beliefs, pagan holiday, and I'm not a pagan, but I'm doing pagan things, and I like Christmas. I celebrate Christmas. But I definitely do understand that we do need a sense of some kind of boundary, and especially with our government in public places, grocery stores, things like that. But to get outraged to demand that it's Merry Christmas and not Happy Holidays.
Yes, absolutely.
Where I do find it's you're being way too aggressive, and you're being kind of blind to that. Like there's just a lot of people out there, and I think that's an old way of thinking, to be honest.
To demand
Yeah,
that has to be one way or
that
the other.
everybody celebrates one thing, and it's just not that way.
No, you're right about that. You're right
Yeah.
about
No, like during the holiday season, just upon greeting somebody isn't, because I'm a firm believer, obviously now, of Merry Christmas. But I'm not gonna nod when I walk past a random person that I might, say hello to because we meet our eyes or something. I'm not gonna say Merry Christmas.
that. Right.
Because that's just not a greeting to me. And maybe if someone says, "Hi, Merry Christmas," I'll say it back, of course. But it's not my greeting during the holiday season.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's not said freely for me.
Yeah.
All this, I'm not gonna put on a Santa hat and see snow and start being like, "Merry Christmas."
Right.
It's
right.
typically like a rebuttal. It's like someone says Merry Christmas to
And you
me,
say, yeah.
You say it back.
and I say it back. Very rarely do I say it to somebody.
Or
But
it's
I
the